And he talked about it. Yes, they can be for this year is too short of the time, but next year he will talk about it. He can play. This is going to give a lot of opportunity to some U.S. players and international players to add one more team in CPL. And then same manners we have to talk about U.S. Open dates. That's the last thing we talk about it. What we can able to put on the U.S. Open date for this year before we announce that, and with not conflict to the West Indies Cricket Board, which is the most important. We don't want to have our neighbor country and then U.S. can then play the games, and at the same time they're playing all the players even out of the country. So we want to welcome to all the West Indies best players to come in, play U.S. Open, and he was agree with the date, which is 25th October and to the November 5th is the perfect timing, is all players available, and he will be endorsed that date, and we will thanks for him and participate on this visiting meeting. We had it for a wonderful meeting with him, and hopefully we'll see in the U.S. Open again on this year 2017. Time to play U.S. Open October 25th to November 25th is 2017.
So Nanda, tell us a bit about this exciting project that you all have been able to unearth. I know you and MAQ have been working on this exciting project, but anything you do and MAQ do always seems to have cricket centered around it. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, this is an investment opportunity for people who love cricket and sports, and we are targeting multiple sports, and the opportunity is basically to invest on this resort property, which is about 250 acres, and get some shares in the company so that they can be part of this growth of this cricket sport. At the same time, see the returns on the investment within the first 2 years. So we have enough support from the government as well as the financial companies who are willing to be our partners and help us to build this cricket field and stadium in South Jersey. And again, the details you can reach us out at the email or phone number given below. And again, this is one in best opportunity I have seen in the recent time, where the evaluation we are coming up with only 20% of the value of this project.
Well, we are here with the co-owners of the Philadelphia Terminators, and that's a new team that will be taking part in 2017 at the US Open. Remember, just yesterday the dates for the US Open was announced, and it's from the 25th of October to the 5th of November, and I'm sure that these two gentlemen here will definitely be hoping that they will still be there on the 5th of November when the finals take place. Just to introduce these guys, we have Amjad and of course Suja Khan. Suja, no stranger to Cricket Council USA. He has been around with us for quite a long time. He's now taking that extra leap and becoming one of the team owners. Suja, what led to you making this move forward in terms of becoming a team owner?
You know, I think I'm going to go back to 2008. Myself as a very passionate cricketer. I have my own cricket league, then I have my own social media cricket company called U Cricketer. So I've been running this cricket league for last 12 years. But I happened to meet Mr. MAQ Qureshi in 2008 in Washington DC. So I knew about the Cricket Council USA at that time, and I was really impressed the way, before even meeting MAQ, I was impressed the way the organization was moving forward. And then I happened to meet Mr. MAQ in Washington DC in 2008 at the finals. Actually, at that time I took my league, so we reached the finals, and unfortunately we lost that Cricket Council USA game against Washington Tigers. So, and from that year in 2009, I went and visited Florida, met Mr. MAQ, and since then I have been associated with Cricket Council USA, because to me, this is the only organization that can take cricket forward. And what we have done, you know, let me, since I'm also an officer in Cricket Council USA as well, after 2009, Mr. MAQ appointed me as a Vice President of Cricket Council USA, and since then you have seen our flagship tournament, the US Open. We started in 2009 and it has reached up to such a level that ESPN has telecast so many of the games. We had Shoaib Akhtar playing in there, then we have many other international players, Samuel Badri, Saeed Ajmal, Hassan Raza. These are the players who came in the last tournament. So this is such a successful company. And last year was the first time when Cricket Council USA came up with a franchise concept, because we have been running this US Open for quite some time, and then the idea was, it has come to that level, so why not take it to a different level, because it has already built its name and reputation, so let's now franchise the team. So it was I would say it was a very successful year, because 5 teams came in and they franchised it. So my team, Philadelphia Terminators, I founded that in 2008. So the name is there. I had spoken to MAQ that whenever this thing will happen, Philadelphia Terminators will join it. We did not join in the first year because we were observing how people are taking interest into that. But I saw the interest of the people, and that's when I decided, now the time has come to put Philadelphia Terminators to a next level, joining the most prestigious T20 tournament run under the most prestigious company in cricket in America, which is Cricket Council USA. That's when I told my partner, he's been with me from let's say day one when I started the cricket setup. So Amjad Sheikh has joined me, and he's the co-owner along with me in the Philadelphia Terminators.
Well, Amjad, I know you have done a lot of work in Philadelphia, and leading up to this interview, you were telling us that you are doing a lot of work with baseball as well. Do you think that you will be able to successfully bring your team to the tournament this year?
Definitely, we will bring. We are committed to cricket. We are passionate, and we will definitely bring our team into this tournament. This tournament, it is our reputation in Philadelphia also to be there and participate in this level of cricket.
Well, it's so critical that if you're having a tournament that is prestigious and represents the United States, that you have teams from all over the states, and it's good to have Philadelphia on board. What sort of challenges you think that you all might face as team owners to make this a reality?
We will do it anyhow. The challenges that we are looking at to see the international players, the cost of finance, the cost of bringing the team to Florida to participate, the sponsorship. We are looking for some sponsorships also to have this organized smoothly and well to successfully participate in this prestigious tournament. The major challenge is the finance, but we will overcome it. We know how to manage it. We have been doing, like Mr. Khan has explained, that we are organizing Philadelphia Cricket League for the last 12 years. We have our own cricket club, Newcastle County Cricket Club, that has been day one. We've been playing together in that. So we know how to manage teams, how to manage tournaments, and how to organize and play into get into the game. So this is the major challenge we will be facing, but I won't call it a challenge. It is how we've got enough time to manage it all.
Yes, and obviously you will have some critical people that you will be going to across there in Philadelphia to make this a reality. Tell me something, a man being at the helm of Philadelphia's cricket, if you have a team that takes part in the US Open, which obviously will be shown on television, what will this do for cricket in Philadelphia, knowing that a team from Philadelphia is actually going down there?
That's a very good question. This will promote a lot of cricket in Philadelphia. We are already having 2 leagues being played in Philadelphia itself. What we have announced in our Philadelphia Cricket League, that the man of the series will automatically qualify to play for Philadelphia Terminators in this tournament.
Well, that's a wonderful initiative. You're already thinking ahead.
Yeah, we are planning everything, so we will go ahead and participate with one of the best teams of Philadelphia, playing in Philadelphia Cricket League to be part of the tournament.
Well, I want to give you all the assurance that MAQ TV will continue to work with both of you all in terms of promoting your team so that you get the maximum benefit. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you.
We also have medals for the entire team, but you could always collect that at the end of the presentation. And now, we would like all members and the manager of the
Yeah, no, you can.
US All-Stars
Big cameras there.
join us in
Yeah, he'll be in front in the main camera. अरे डांस के बोलन कि तुम्हें वीडियो
There's also a small matter of a check for $50,000 US. Guys, we like the captain to stay on stage. Captain and the vice captain.
चांस इधर आजा इधर आजा अफजल भाई बीच में आ जाए आप बीच में सही डालो यार ये सामने देखिए अफजल भाई
So the captain and the vice captain remain here with us. Hopefully with that US.
So we have our transporter all over, all the tournaments throughout. So the guys is supporting to us all together, we are teamwork, plus having the fans.
And of course, you will be back here next year after this success.
Yeah, of course, we will be back here next year. 8 years being golf tournament is very good. All the stars, they came to London and Australia, all the players. So thanks for MAQ and thanks for your all staff from here who support to us, all-star team. So we're looking forward to next year.
Thanks a lot and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, midway through in the game, we got a banner from Dubai with US All-Stars, the champions. So you have fans from all over the world. I like Zishan Qureshi to come forward now. Zishan worked very hard in getting all the logistics here in order for this team to perform well. In addition to that, he of course was a player. You must be very happy.
Yeah, you know, we've been playing this tournament for 8 years and we haven't won. We've been in one final and 2 semi-finals before. So we're very happy that we won today.
Difference, you've been in ever since, but now you're winning.
Just the guys this year, we did a good job gelling together, playing as a team. We had fun out there and we just played well together, so that's the difference in us winning today.
And you're all in your power to keep this unit together for next year to defend the title.
Of course, always, you know, as long as the sponsors keep coming back and we can put together this team, then we'll come back next year and hopefully take another tournament trophy.
Wonderful, and again, a round of applause for some wonderful guys who have done very well here at the US Open. Well, that has actually brought us to the end of our prize giving. We want to thank everyone for all the hard work, all the volunteers, and everyone who showed up at this wonderful tournament. Next year's tournament, and I want to say a special thank you to a very special person. I've got, being around Cricket Council USA, I got to know this gentleman, and I'll tell you something, next year's tournament is going to be better because he will start planning it from tomorrow, and that's Sofian Kamar. Could we hear it for him? Well, on that note, we hope that you continue the celebrations, continue to support Cricket Council USA, because what happened here was very big for cricket in America. Last but not least, to all our viewers on ESPN and MAQ TV, we hope that we thoroughly provide entertainment for you.
Thank you.
T20, energize your game.
Joined in the box.
Check.
And I'm joined in the box here with Marvin Dillon. And Merv, good afternoon to you once again. And we are here for the second semi-final with the news Alma Safi from Afghanistan is already in.
Yeah, they batted beautifully. Good afternoon to everybody.
So we are all set here. We get the signal from umpire Samuels. And we could be on our way here. Gajanan Singh will be the man on strike.
Young Singh, I actually bowled a few balls against him. Pretty handy, very talented young man. Was really impressed with the few times I saw him bat. So it would be interesting to see if he would be getting and to get off in this innings.
Yes, Merv, Gajanan Singh would have started his junior career having represented Guyana at the regional junior level and then went on to play for the West Indies, would have been on the same West Indies on the 19th side with the likes of Kyron Pollard and Sunil Narayan at one point, and then, of course, went on to play senior cricket for Guyana. So he's very watchful of the first ball, as Santoki certainly is a very crafty customer.
Yeah, definitely going to be a good competition here. Something that I said to Young Singh, I don't see any reason why you're not involved at the first class level. He has all the shots, very talented, and I think it's just to channel that. And something that he can really go on to do good things because he has the talent, definitely.
Just check it. Can you hear me?
So he gets on inside edge and will run away towards the fine leg boundary. Streaky but effective, Merv. Sometimes it doesn't matter how they come. They're off to a good start. They're 4 without loss.
Yeah, we all need a bit of luck sometimes. So that should get him off. A bit unfortunate there for Santoki, but some luck for Gajanan Singh.
Certainly, Merv, on another day that will be dragged onto the stumps. But today it passes the stump, passes rammed in, and it goes away for 4. So relatively a good start here from Gajanan Singh. And, of course, the scorebook will never reflect what kind of shot it was.
No, it doesn't say that, not at all. It just says 4 runs, right?
And cricket has always been a numbers game. So whatever brings the numbers up are good, and whatever brings the numbers down, certainly not good. Gajanan Singh off and running here. He's on 5. And bring Jaskaran Malhotra, who has had a good domestic record here on American soil. But I was telling him last night that he was in the commentary box. He has set such a high bar for himself that in as much he's got 20s and he's got a couple of 30s in this tournament, by his standard, this is not a good series for him.
Definitely, and like I said, the talent that he carries, I know he would be disappointed thus far and would definitely want to cash in, probably help his team to go to the finals.
So Santoki with 5 in the over so far. Ball going down the leg side, a diving rammed in. Oh, caught behind. So a wicket falls here. Jaskaran goes without scoring. Second ball. And Ramdin does all the rest.
As we were just saying, the luck. This one is edged down the leg side, and he's out caught. So a bit of a strangle day for Santoki, but I'm sure he'll accept that.
Certainly, and certainly the catch taken by a world-class keeper. Dinesh Ramdin has been around international cricket for some time. He plays all three formats for the West Indies and have led the West Indies on many, many occasions. So a regulation wicketkeeper catch. And Dinesh Ramdin over the years, Marv, in as much as he has been in and out of the West Indies team from time to time, but wicket-keeping-wise, there's not a better wicket-keeper in the Caribbean from a wicket-keeping standpoint as better than Dinesh Ramdin.
Definitely. Dinesh has shown what he can do. I think, when you look at the whole concept, he definitely is the number one as far as, if you have a half a cricket brain, you would look and see that's the guy that should be in the job. Unfortunately, he has been in and out. Sometimes because he hasn't been as consistent with the bat. But the talent, I certainly believe he can play as a batsman as well. So he has the talent and just probably a bit more consistency in his efforts. And he can go on to play for quite a number of years. That is, Mr. Brown has anything to do with it.
So, yes, Merv, you're right on that. But point taken that these days, and especially in one international 50-over cricket and T20 cricket, you're looked upon as the wicketkeeper of choice when you start coming good with the bat, and not necessarily as being a specialist keeper these days.
Yeah, I think Mr. Dujon would have started that trend. So when you're a wicketkeeper, you're expected to contribute with the bat.
So Akeem Dotson comes out here at 5 for 1 as a number 3 batsman. Merv, it's not a good thing to be batting a ball that has only bowled 4 times. So he strokes this one up towards the offside. The ball knocked down there, and he will have to wait before he gets off the mark. So I remember just a couple of nights ago, we saw 22 yards just scampering to put pads on.
It's a funny game, so you always have to keep posted, keep your eyes on the game, because it can change really, really quickly.
So it's 5 for 1. They have lost the wicket of Jaskran Malhotra. Dismissed for a duck. Malhotra dismissed for what they would call a golden duck. Marv?
Yeah.
While,
you don't want to see too many of those. It's never a nice feeling.
And while the name sounds very nice, golden duck, essentially means that you've gotten a first ball duck, and I understand if you got a second ball duck, it's called a silver duck, and a third ball duck, a bronze duck.
Well, it goes like the Olympics, I guess. Huh? That's the effort to try and get the sport into the Olympics.
Yes, Marvin. Actually, speaking of the Olympics and athletic, last night during the halftime, we saw 2 of the players. Big argument outside the stadium. Who's the fastest? Well, there's a big cricket field here, and we put them to the test. A fella by the name of McCarthy. He played for one of the team, and they took off running a 400 around this track, and this is a big 400 track, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, probably a little more than 400. Yeah.
So they went around the track, and it was McCarthy all the way. They were running a 400 meters. McCarthy wins by 100 meters.
And it should pay double. That bet should be paid double.
So sometime today, during the presentation ceremony, we do have that, the gold medal and the silver medalist. There were only 2 runners, unfortunately. So Elmore Hutchison has been given the ball, and Merv, it'll be quite interesting to see here 2 left-arm seamer.
Well, interesting enough, we always raced back when we played, and the only person that has ever beaten me in 100 meters is Ricardo Vowell. But he hasn't taken up the challenge. I tried to get him to race again, but he's never done. He kept the trophy.
I'll ask him about it. So here is Elmore Hutchison to Akeem Dotson. Dotson's trying to go through the onside, doesn't succeed. So we're seeing a lot of southpaws here. We're seeing a pair of southpaws in bowling, and both Akeem Dotson and Rajanan Singh are left-handers.
Yeah, definitely. Dotson seems to be, they apparently must be batting well. They just seem to be quite positive in their approach thus far, and probably looking to make use of the first sixer was the power play, which is very important in this game because it's a really good bat and wicket.
So ball cut away nicely here. Oh, what a stop. What a save by the man at cover. Certainly saved a couple of runs and perhaps a boundary. And finally, Akeem Dotson gets a single. He goes up to 2.
Those are the things that would give fast bowlers a little extra energy. When you have fielders supporting you like that, it's definitely something that inspires you.
And we always talk about the power play favoring the batsman, how the batsman should bat. But as a bowler, if you pick up a couple of wickets during the power plays, as we saw Santoki did, it sort of pushed them back a little bit.
Definitely, and it's always key, especially in this sort of version. Wickets always helps, despite whatever situation. So picking up wickets in the first, it puts the bat inside on the back foot, and they have to go back and reassess in terms of how they approach the innings.
So ball going down the leg side will be called a wide. Any ball that hasn't offered the batsman a fair opportunity to score, the rule says it shall be called a wide. That's the definition of what a wide is, Merv.
Yes, as far as cricket is concerned, bowlers are second-class citizens. We all know that.
and it's kind of interesting. While the rule says you've got to give the batsman a fair chance to scoring, you as a bowler have to restrict the batsman.
Exactly. So a lot of work.
So Elmore, this one is outside the off stump this time, and it goes for another wide. So it's 9 for 1. Gajanan Singh is on 5. Akeem Dotson is on 2. They have lost the service of Jaskaran Malhotra.
Just to go on Hutch, it was a wide ball, but there was a bit of movement. That is what I saw and what I liked. So I think once he gets it online, that will be, especially against these left-handers.
And I was talking a little bit earlier to Gajanan. So that goes for 5 wide. So straight down the leg side, and Dinesh Ramdin never had a chance there at all. And it's 14 for 1, Merv.
Yeah, he would need it. He would have needed an extension there, a selfie stick to get that one.
So 14 for 1. And Merv, I was talking a little bit earlier on with Gajanan Singh, and he was of the opinion that to face two of these left-handers in the park today, he would rather take them onto the hot sunshine rather than tonight when the conditions could be very conducive to swing bowling, both Santoki and Elmore Hutchison.
Yeah, the ball does a lot more at night, obviously. Not all the time, but we've seen, talking to a few of the players that have been out there, it definitely does a lot more. It's been doing, especially the late games. So it will be interesting come this evening with the two teams that get into the finals.
And we've
Hope
seen
that will join the Afghanistan team, obviously.
And we've seen a bunch of left-arm seamers in this tournament. We have a pair here right now in Santoki and certainly Elmore Hutchison. We saw Najaf Shah, very tall man. In fact, someone was asking me if he is Mohammed Irfan, and I said no. And by the way, Mohammed Irfan taller than Joel Garner.
Yeah, but he did bowl really well, yes. Actually won the game for his team, so credit must be given to him on such a wicket. And to hit his Yorkers with the accuracy that he did, good on him.
And we also saw Mohammed Khalil, who would have played briefly at the international level, a couple of tests for Pakistan as batsman scampering for runs here. So good showing here by the Indian Lions, having won the toss and they decide they'll bowl first. So you've got to say things have gone relatively well. They're 15 for 1.
Yeah, it's always good, especially with the amount of first-class and international players that we have coming in for these tournaments. It all goes well for the future, and I can only imagine it will only get better because the teams are getting a lot better when you play against teams. There isn't a lot of weak teams anymore. Most of the teams are pretty decent, so it's going to build the cricket, and it's going to obviously raise the standard.
So ball getting an edge here from Akeem Dotson. He gets a single out to wide third man, takes the score up to 16 for 1. Gajanan Singh is on 6. He will be the man on strike. Akeem Dotson is on 3. Elmore has given up 10 in the over so far, 5 wides at one point.
Yeah, definitely a loosener there. That one, like we said, Ramdin had no chance. And I'm sure Elmore would be trying to make up for that and get it right because he's a class bowler. He has been doing pretty well around US cricket for a number of years.
So 16 for 1. Not a bad start, but things I would say even here with the fall of Jaskaran's wicket. So that completes over number 2. And after 2, it's 16 for 1. They've lost Jaskaran Malhotra without scoring. Akeem Dotson is on 3. He will be the man on strike when play resumes here. And you're watching the U.S. All-Stars taking on Indian Lions in the second semi-final with the news Alma Safi out of Afghanistan will be the final, already in the final, having disposed of Houston Stallions.
I had some food poisoning. I tried, but at the end of it, I had to forego that. And I think it was Stuart Williams.
Yeah, well,
Colin Stewart, sorry, I'm saying Stuart Williams, my good buddy.
Well, to just polish off here, so Marv Dillon started an over in Sri Lanka. He bowled a couple of balls and fell ill, and the ball was given to Colin Stewart. And Colin Stewart bowled a couple of beamers, and he was taken out of the game. And then Chris Gale had to finish things off. This ball is guided away. Good-looking shot here from Akeem Dotson. Runs away for 4. And the left-hander, he picks up a boundary. In fact, Gajanan Singh, the man on strike, And Gajanan Singh goes up to 10, short and wide. Outside the off stump, and Gajanan Singh gets 4 runs.
Definitely. And it shows how good the wicket is. He just got it in the gap and it ran away. The outfield is quite quick as well.
So one of the over in recorded Test cricket history. Started by Merv Dillon, bowled a few by Colin Stewart, and finished off by Chris Gale. The only over in the history of Test cricket that took 3 men to finish.
Yep, you get into the record book no matter what you do.
So ball, a full toss, worked away over the onside, and it goes away quite quickly here. Gajanan Singh goes up to 14, a loose ball there from Santoki.
I don't think we'd be too happy with that. Despite a low full toss, he still had to put it away. So it's not you find you would see a lot of players with bad balls, and sometimes they would hit it directly to fieldsman. So you still have to execute the shot. So some credit to him. And Santoki is normally very consistent, very hard to get away with all the tricks that he has.
So you've got to say a very good start here by U.S. All-Stars. They're batting at 26 for 1. This is just the third over of Merv, and they're going at over 9 and over. So a good recovery, considering they would have lost. They've lost a wicket in the first over, a partnership of 21. Gajanan Singh is on 15. He's batted fluently, and Hakeem Dotson on 4.
Yeah, Indian Lions, they haven't been as consistent. They have a few loose balls. They have been bowling a few loose balls. The wides with from Elmore, now from Santoki. So we probably just need to be a little more consistent and let the batters work for their runs. Right now, we're giving it to them. So.
And more of what I've noticed from the Indian Lions setup. First of all, you got to talk about the leadership here. Ricardo Powell certainly brings sound leadership to this squad.
Yeah, and all the players have so much respect for him. So it's somebody that definitely, like I said, a good leader, very good cricket brain. And to have somebody like Ramdane on the field helping him as well, I know it's a really, really good combination. So he would work things out and assess things. The wicket looks even better today. So we should see a lot of runs, definitely.
So, of course, Ricardo Powell leading the charge out in the middle. And, of course, yourself being part of the Indian setup. And then you look across a little bit earlier on. I saw Orlando Baker getting the boys out together and just making sure that things are right. And in U.S. cricket setup, there's not a better player than Orlando Baker.
Yeah, definitely. But he has been, like I said yesterday, he's somebody that once you talk about U.S. cricket, you mention Orlando Baker. So he has been around for a long time, very talented guy. Even at his age, he still, keeps himself pretty fit. So it's good to see. You have a lot of players still trying to, especially with the younger players around. Having those guys will definitely help.
So a short ball here from Elmore Hutchison, pulled away nicely here by Gajanan Singh. He picks up another boundary. He goes up to 19. And another short ball from Elmore Hutchison. Given the full treatment, is 30 for 1.
Yeah, Gajanan Singh is not going to go die wanting. He's going to give it a go. He's, like I said, very aggressive. And he definitely, it's not like he's a slum. He has the shot. So on this wicket, I don't think you want to be bowling too short to him.
Yes, Merv, we've seen a lot of bowler. Once they pitch it up, they seems to be doing well. And the minute you give the batsman a chance to go off the back foot, it hasn't gone well. So you have played at the international level. You know what a strip like this would really take from a fast bowler.
Yeah, you have very little room for any mistakes on this pitch. You have to be on point. I just say, as Ambrose would say, you got to hit the coin every time, or else the minute you're slightly off, the players are people like Gajan and Singh. They're gonna put you away. So
Singh on 19, he's batted well so far. Oh, he's cutting well. 4 more runs towards backward punch, short and wide. And that's the kind of shot left-handers or any handers would want to play. Gajanan Singh goes up to 23, is 34 for 1.
Yep, and we've seen the talent. Some very good shots from the young man. As I said, he has all the shots and a very dangerous player at the top of the innings.
So 2 short and 2 wide, 34 for 1. And Elmore Hutchison, he's bowled 9 balls. He's given up 18 runs, so certainly not good in T20 context. You look across to Santoki. He's bowled 2 overs for 16. And he's taking 1 wicket. Gajanan Singh on 23 is 34 for 1. 99 balls still to be bowled. And you're watching the second semi-final. And the Indian Lions team, a very strong lineup. Lopez taking a leave today.
Yeah, he did his hamstring in the game yesterday, and he definitely not feeling that well. So hopefully with some treatment throughout the day, he might be able to play the finals. But it's a hamstring, and it's normally a very dodgy area, you know.
So coming down the track, not timing it well, and it has eluded Lendell Simmons, and finally goes up towards the long off boundary for a 4. Not timed well, perhaps not in full control, but he gets 4 and he goes up to 27. Has gone Merv, not good here for Indian Lions.
Not good at all. Definitely a really good start here for the All-Stars. I'm sure they will be very happy thus far. Ricardo, on the other hand, and it was very similar yesterday. Probably wasn't as prolific, but we haven't bowled well in the power plays thus far. So hopefully we can work some magic as we did in the middle overs. So
Gajanan Singh has given All-Stars a very rapid start. He has gone up to 20. He has gone up to 31 from just 16 balls. Akeem Dotson is on 4, and they've certainly made a big recovery here, having lost Jaspran Singh off the very first ball that he had faced. And so things have really gone U.S. All-Stars' way. They'll need a good platform here. Many in this competition feel that the U.S. All-Stars they're top heavy, but they're a little bit soft in the middle.
Well, the way they're playing, you wouldn't mind being top heavy. They're definitely proving that theory, right? So the thing about Gajanan, he's Guyanese, so spin is normally you have opening batters who are very good at playing fast bowling and a little suspect to the spin. I don't think that's the case on this occasion. Coming from Guyana, he would have faced a lot of spin bowling, and he's quite adapted it.
Yes, Merv, and in fact, speaking of Gajanan Singh, he's one of a few dozens of players contracted by the Guyana Cricket Board. Like anything else, we know players offering professional contract is the thing these days in West Indies, and he's one of the contracted players on the Guyana team, which means he gets a stipend to concentrate on cricket and better himself.
I'm happy to hear that, definitely, because as I said, and I can't say it enough, that he's a really talented young player, and the fact that he's in the setup, which means it's up to him now to work to get himself, to the highest level, to the next level, and then obviously to the highest level.
So Dotson goes up to 5. Gajanan Singh is on 31. And they've made a very quick start here. They're 43 for 1. We're still in the power plays. We're still in over number 5.
Yeah, and this is the thing about Ricardo. He's always the one. He enjoys the challenge, and he will always come in the difficult situations as captain. You'll find some captains who might shy away from it, but no, he's always in it.
Yes, Merv, you're right on that. And of course, apart from providing good leadership, even at this time of his career, Ricardo Powell still holds his own as a batsman, as an off spinner, and boy, I tell you, he can still jump around the cricket field. And we looked the other night and saw Ricardo Powell feeling a backward point, and we know our international cricket well. We know that some of the best fielders in the world, they start at backward point, especially in the early stages of T20 cricket.
It's amazing. I mean, I remember him there when we played back in the day in one day international cricket, and just knowing that Ricardo is there, you just felt so much more comfortable because not much got past him, and he's always been so quick. Even now, he's still, he's still up there with the best in the world. When you look at him move, even at his age now, and hasn't played at the highest level for such a long time, it's amazing that he still moves the way he does.
And the fact is that is why he continues to play, because he can compete. Ball driven nicely here by Akeem Dotson. Beats the man within the 30-yard circle, and it goes away for 4. That's a good-looking shot from the left-hander.
Yeah, definitely. Both players looking very comfortable at the moment. We definitely should be, I'm sure, looking to pick up a wicket or two here to kind of curb the run scoring, because they are scoring at a rapid rate. We would want to pull that back. And I say we as in an Indian Lions.
So projected score here looking to be like 214. So good one here for U.S. All-Stars. They've gotten off to a very good start. They're approaching a 50. And we are still in the power play overs. Oh, pulled away. Short ball. And manipulated through the onside. That's a good-looking shot from Akeem Dotson. He goes up to 13 and brings up the 50 here for U.S. All-Star. They're 52 for 1.
Yeah, they got there pretty quickly. A good score so far. A perfect start from the All-Stars. And like I said, Lions The wicket is a very good wicket, so I think it's Ricardo has the experience, he knows, and he will assess that and understand it's a good wicket and just keep fighting. You have to keep plugging away, and try and save as much runs as possible. Every run you save is one run less that you have to score.
So we see Ricardo Powell flexing the right arm, so he could be in a bit of discomfort here. Ball driven down the ground. Good looking shot here from Dotson. And one is added to the scorecard, 53 for 1. Dotson goes up to 14, brings Gajanan Singh on 32. I'm not too sure if with the little discomfort we've seen from Powell here, if he'll need a couple of bowlers to finish his over.
And he also got hit yesterday while batting, so he has a bit of a sore leg. But he's a fighter, and he will fight through.
So 5 gone is 54 for 1, with Gajanan Singh on 33 not out. And Hakeem Dotson on 14. We'll quickly bring in Vinod here. And Merv is 54 for 1. A very quick start here by US All-Stars.
The perfect start.
And it did so much. Looking at this lineup and looking at the what has played off in the series so far, Gajanan Singh seems to be one of the key players. A lot depends on him. I think getting his breakthrough is something that the Lions would really want.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, you know, he's such a positive player that if he bats for any length of period, he's going to score runs. I think the only way you're going to stop him is to get him out, because once he's there, he's going to score runs and score quickly.
Yes, definitely. And we're going to see Danza Hayat missed out in the last game, but he's back, has been used as an effective bowler.
Yeah, Danza, he didn't play yesterday. He was a bit sore after the first day, some issues with his shoulder. But you look at him, he's a very strong guy, so I'm sure he will fight it out, and hopefully he can put a bowler spell here to help his captain to pull things back a bit, because it's needed. We don't want them to run away to anything over 180 or anything like that.
There's a delivery pitch on his leg, and it's picked up, and he's out caught. Danza Hayat continues to be the man with the golden arm here.
And he goes straight to Ramdin, as usual.
And, of course, he goes to Ramdin to rub it in. That delivery, pretty lucky, though. That delivery was over-pitched on the legs, and Gajanan Singh will be kicking himself, having gotten dismissed in that manner, clipping that one straight to the mid-wicket boundary. He's on his way for 33, faced just 18 deliveries, and the second US All-Stars wicket has fallen.
That's the thing, Vinod. I've played long enough to understand that you do need a bit of luck sometime. You know, so that's some luck for the Indian Lions there. Like I said, a half volley on leg stump and straight to the fielder at a deep backward square. So not a very good shot from Gajanan. Probably didn't time it as well, or timed it too well, that it got all the way to the fielder on the boundary.
Yes, and he's trudging off. A very disappointed man.
As he should be, huh?
Yes, definitely. And here comes skipper Hassan Raza. You know, at the post-match interview yesterday, I'd asked him, you know, if he's batting well and there has been some problems with his lineup, if he would consider promoting himself in the order. But he has actually done it. He's now coming in at number 4, because previously he was coming in at 5. And I think what he needs to do now is to get the rest of the guys to bat around him and take it from there. They've made a very promising start, as Lenny was saying. The projected score 214, now it's 208. And always after the power play, when you look at projected scores, it's going to give you a score that could be contaminated, so to speak, because of the fact that the field is in, and they could take advantage of that. But this is a crucial period. As I said before, moving whilst doing commentary with you, I believe that the middle overs are so crucial in determining what score you get.
Yeah, and this is where we've been picking up wickets in the game yesterday, and today again we just picked another one, which is a good thing. You know, we haven't started pretty well, but we seem to come into it, you know, in the middle overs. So hopefully we can do the same thing today and really restrict the team, because yesterday they were projected to score 170, 180 with the start they had as well, and we managed to get them out for 124. So.
Well, Mr. Hart is not so lucky on this occasion. He continues down that leg stump line and is clipped away there by Dodson down to the long leg boundary for 4. The score has now progressed to 58 for 2. You're making the point, Movie.
Yeah, and even if you look at the wicket, it just seems a lot fresher than it was yesterday. So one has to wonder, and it would be a bit of a concern for Ricardo, how well the spinners will do, because they were key in the game yesterday, Young, Alexander and Sonny. So It would be when they do get a chance to bowl, it would be nice to see how they were and how the ball comes off the pitch, and I suppose that will have a huge impact in terms of how many runs they score.
Definitely, that is the idea. Dotton gets a single down to long on, and that continues. So you've been around the team, and of course you've been an official of the team, a player official. What has been the mood of the squad, and in particular Hyatt, after those wicket-taking performances?
Well, now he looks at me now because I kind of I'm a bit of a manager coach because I'm not playing, so I'm more into that side of it to try and help out as much as I can. So when it comes to massage therapy, he wants to be the first one because he's the most important player at the moment. So you have to massage the big dogs, as we call them, first. He's earned that right.
Well, he's doing a job. Yeah, just back of a length, and this delivery is played down by the very experienced Hassan Raza, the third man for a single. The score goes on to 60 for 2. And Hyatt continues his work. He has taken 1 for 6 after 4 deliveries.
Yeah, and when you look at the camp,
Hyatt again, still the over continues. Will he ever end this over? Strain down the leg side, and that's a wonderful shot there from Hassan Raza, just allowing that delivery to come on to him and placing it expertly down to the deep backward square leg boundary for 4. 65 for 2 after 7.
Hyatt completing his first over, 1 for 11. The wicket probably, 5 or 6 too many runs in the over, but the wicket definitely was a plus for them. Gajanan Singh, who was going great guns. So it was very nice to see the back of him, and you have to give some credit to Hyatt.
Well, that was the key wicket in my estimation. Gajanan Singh has been batting well at the top of the order for the US All-Stars. Yesterday he was saying that he was very disappointed that he was not carrying on. And we are seeing something that happens at the IPL. There's a team huddle, and then he calls it a strategic timeout.
That is just the experience of Ricardo. I played with him for a while now, and when he does this a lot, he will pull people together and just to remind them of what they're about and what the plans are, which I think is a very good move. So just to refresh people's mind, it has been a bit of an up and down performance so far. So I think it was a good move to get the guys in and just remind them of what the plans are and what we talked about in the team meetings.
So far, 65 runs to the good. They've lost 2 wickets, the US All-Stars. And you look at the batting of the US All-Stars, and to me, it's pretty thin.
Well, that's one of the things that we discuss. But one of the things I always remind the guys in the team meetings, cricket is played on the day. And so you have to go out there and kind of assess things and be able to think on your feet. We might make plans the night before, the morning before the game, but sometimes that changes. Depend on the different plays that you might have discussed, and someone else might come out and totally prove you wrong. So it's just a game, and you have to be able to think quickly and be able to react to different situations when you get out there.
Camelus Alexander from the far end, the leg spinner. This one played down to a short third man, no run.
A good start from Alexander from where he left off yesterday. He was very key. He was key in the game. Picked up the first 3 wickets, and basically, cut the legs out of our opponents yesterday. So hopefully he can repeat his performance. He's normally a very consistent bowler, and as I mentioned, the wicket looks a lot fresher than it did yesterday. So we have to wait and see how.
And he's bowled him. A beautiful delivery there by Alexander. That one touched down just outside the off stump and struck the top of the leg stump. And that's a Shane Warne lookalike delivery.
Yeah, that was a beautiful delivery. Absolutely beaten all ends up. And Alexander again. I said he got into the team due to the injury of Mr. Hyatt yesterday. And now he's proving to be, proving that was a good decision. We might look at it, we lost Hyatt as a negative, but he has come in and he has done really, really well. And this is what you want from teams, and this is how good teams perform and continue to dominate. Because, as I said, when you have people like Baker and Davidson on the bench, it just shows the strength in the team, and Alexander definitely is holding his own as a bowler in the team thus far, and congratulations to him. Excellent wicket.
Yes, and he was actually stumped by Ramdin for 20. And Ramdin is so quick. They deceived us here moving.
Yeah, our eyes a bit slow for Mr. Ramdin. He's too quick for us.
Yes, he is. And I think that has really, really given the Indian Lions the upper hand now. 65 for 3, and we were discussing that this batting order is a bit thin as you go down. As Lenny said it perfectly, it's top heavy. And Dilhara Lukaheti is the new batsman in, and he has loads of experience. He would need to work through this difficult period with Raza. What do you think might be a good score on this track moving?
I think a pass score on this track would be probably 180. If to give yourself a chance, you would want to push to probably about 200 because the wicket is that good. And if you're US All-Star management and you look at Indian Lions lineup, you know you probably have to get something in the region of 200 to be competitive. That's what I believe.
I think that's a fair assessment of the conditions out there. Delivery just a little too wide from Alexander. Going further away, of course, Alexander being a leg spinner.
Good stop by Simmons.
Yes, Simmons, of course, one of the better fieldsmen in West Indies cricket.
He isn't that as agile at the moment. His back is still a bit sore. He's just coming back from injury, so a bit limited, but we know what he's capable of in the field.
Has been batting beautifully.
He hasn't gotten out yet.
Bit of a one-sided semi-final this morning. Everyone were expecting that the Stallions would run away victors there. Didn't happen.
Well, we kind of betted. When we talked about this morning, one of the things it's quite possible that Stallions would be the team that would meet in the finals. Unfortunately, the Afghanistan team, I looked at them bat, and I was very impressed with the stroke play. They just, took the game away, and they batted beautifully.
End of 7, 68 for 3. I'll tell you something, though. You have 8 or 9 national players in the setup. Afghanistan are actually playing ODI cricket now. They've reached that status. So these guys, and they're also playing 2020 internationals. So these guys are, they've been on the international scene. They bring that sort of experience into this tournament. And there are some of those players are very, very explosive. I like the look.
I like the word you use, explosive.
Yes, they are. Tariki at the top of the order. Ahmadi is another one. And then you look at the fast bowler. I particularly have a lot of time for the fast bowler. He runs some close to the side screen, and he has a beautiful smooth run up. And he hit good areas and at pace.
Yeah, I like the approach to the game. Obviously, they've been doing really well, as you said. They're playing ODI cricket now. I just like how they play the cricket. They're very positive, and there seems to be a lot of talent in there. I don't know a lot of the players individually, but you look at the team. I look at the way they batted this morning. I remember seeing them play a couple games in Trinidad, and I was very impressed with the way they went about their business. So
they actually won that tournament, if you remember.
Yep.
As Patel takes up the attack from his southern end, his second delivery. And no run conceded just yet from his bowling.
Excellent work by Ramdin, saving a couple of runs here. He's just so quick, very agile.
Very, very good wicketkeeper in my opinion. But Raza would be disappointed. Sorry, not Raza, but Lukaheti would be disappointed he didn't take advantage of that. This is a wide one, just as Mervyn Dillon and I were praising Dennis Ramdin. He misses this one. It's down the leg side, goes for a wide. So actually 5 runs added to the total, which should now read 73 for 3.
Yeah, badly lined Googly there. They probably didn't give Ramdin any chance, but he's that good. You probably would expect him to get that one.
But he actually got to it. And it went straight through his gloves. You know, 3/4 of the work of a wicketkeeper is actually getting to the ball. Some of the less flashy ones will normally use footwork.
Well,
The others tend to fly about the place.
I played for a number of years with one called Ridley Jacobs, and he wasn't the best looking, but when it came to efficiency, you couldn't ask for a better person. He was just, he wasn't the most flashy, but somehow he just got there and he got the job done. He took the catches. It's very rare that he dropped any catch. He was just amazing. Like he wasn't the natural wicketkeeper, the Jeffrey Dujon, the Dennis Ramden, or even the David Williams, but he was different, but very, very efficient.
Yes, he was very effective indeed. Not the prettiest.
Yes, I think that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I don't think he's someone you'll take home to meet your parents. But I tell you something, if you have to depend on a man taking a catch to save your house, you will send it to Ridley Jacobs.
Yes, definitely.
Not a bad over from Patel there in the end. Just the one delivery that went for 5 wides. And at the end of over number 8, it's 75 for 3. In your time, Mervyn, who would have been in and around the regional setup and the West Indies setup as well, who would have been probably the best wicketkeeper at that time?
One of the best wicketkeepers that I've seen, despite being at the youth level, I always go back to MAQ Ramkissoon from Trinidad. He was exceptional and was very unfortunate not to play for Trinidad and Tobago and even the West Indies. As you know, David Williams was occupying that spot, so it wasn't the easiest person to move out. But MAQ Ramkissoon, amazing to watch.
He would have been one of your colleagues at the west Indies Players Association when you were there. And I was also there for a while at the West Indies Players Association. I think I lasted about 4 months. And I asked Mr. Ramnarayan for leave to go to the Guardian, and I never went back.
Oh, God. But, I mean, David Williams, class act. He was just amazing. Exceptional keeper, tremendous talent. He wasn't the biggest guy, but he got there, and he was just the most amazing. He was just agile and very, very quick. I think sometimes he even beat the umpires in terms of how quick he was.
David, of course, a very hard worker, and he continues to do good work as this delivery is lapped around the corner by Luca Hetty into the boundary for 4, and a bad line there by Alexander and punished. Well, David continues to do a lot of good work in Trinidad and Tobago. I think he's in charge of the South Zone setup, and every week you will see him coming out with the youngsters and doing his thing. Man loves cricket.
One of the things I've always been impressed with him as a coach is his work ethic. Is second to none. He's a very hard worker, and he pushes you, and only because he wants the best in you. And as a coach, he's done really, really well. He's probably getting down a bit in age now, so he had to make room. But somebody that is very passionate about the game and always had a good rapport with the players.
Well, I remember, speaking of Williams being a pint-sized man, I remember once he took a catch off your bowling and you ran up to congratulate him, and he could have never given you a high five.
Yeah, we had to cut that to 2.5. It couldn't be a high five.
2.5 5. 2.5. He was actually hugging you, and his head was by your waist.
I was fortunate to see him and Ambrose a couple of times as well, and it was always the funniest thing to see.
That was comical.
Oh, God.
Well, I was told recently by your cousin Ian that during the days of West Indies playing with Ambrose, end of the over number 9, it's 82 for 3, with the days of Ambrose and these guys playing for the West Indies. David Williams was actually used once as an emergency fieldsman, and he came down to the Oval and made... and committed the cardinal sin of putting his cricket bag in Curtly Ambrose's slot.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to mess with Ambrose's spot. He has a spot at every single ground, and everybody walks in the dressing room, and that is Ambrose. So don't even go close to that corner because he's owned it.
Yes, and Bishop said that Ambrose yelled out, "Who's in my spot?" And Willie crept around and removed his bag very easily.
And the funny thing is that they are best of friends. Like you wouldn't like to see them greet each other. After they have not seen each other for a while, they have always remained good friends, and it's so much fun whenever they get together.
Wonderful shot by Raza, and this is where experience comes in. Paul on that occasion pulling that one down, and Raza with the full knowledge that Simmons is pretty straight at long on, and the man at the mid-wicket boundary is quite away from Simmons as well, and he was able to just pick his spot and put it for 4, and that is key. When you get a bad ball, you must take advantage if the runs are drying up.
Yeah, quality players on this pitch. You don't have much space for error. So someone such as Raza, who's ideal for this type of position to bat through the middle overs, he can work the ball and he can also pick up the boundaries when you're off your line. So he definitely, like I said, he's set in a good position. Hopefully the guys around him can bat and put on some partnerships, which will take them to a decent score. I'm sure, and as I said, I know they will be looking for something in the region of 180, 200.
Yes, and you're speaking about working the ball, and that is exactly what he did. After hitting a 4, he was able to work the ball nicely into the gap and get 2.
Yeah, it seems to be very similar to Dinesh Ramdin. Very, he seems to have a very good eye. Works the ball on both sides of the wicket, and if you're off, he's going to put it away.
He continues to pick up the singles, and that's so important. It's 2020 cricket. You don't have to hit away every delivery. You pick up the singles, 3 or 4 and over. You get a bad delivery, and all of a sudden you've gotten 8 or 9 runs of the over.
Yeah, and he understands that. And the wicket is as such, you get good value because it's a very good wicket. The ball comes onto the batter, and I've seen some really, really good shots without much power, just pure timing, and they have all gotten good value for it. So. Very good one-day wicket, and the outfield is pretty fast as well.
Good delivery by Powell on this occasion, but of course if the field set back, and Raza being able to get a single.
91 for 3 after 10 overs. We're at the halfway mark now. Hopefully we, and I say we as in the Indian Lions, I know they will be looking to put in a few good overs here to put some pressure on the US All-Stars. And I'm sure young Raza will have different plans. He would probably want to, keep the run rate going. And
So welcome back. Thank you, Marv. Thank you, Vinod. It's 91 for 3. Make that 92 for 3. We're into the second 10. 59 balls remaining. With 59 balls remaining. It's 92 for 3. Delhara is on 9. Hassan Raza's, he's on 18. As we watch Camelas Alexander, former Windward Island first-class player. Dilhara, the man on strike, he's on 9. It's 18 to Raza. And ball driven up towards long off. They go through for 1. So welcome back, Ivor Henry. We're beginning to see a nice little partnership here between Hassan Raza, who has played at the Pakistan international level at one time. And of course, Dilhara, he's on 10. He's had a lot of batting to do. Oh, it beats the man at backward point. That's Lendl Simmons. And it goes away for 4 off the bat of Hassan Raza. He goes up to 22 and takes the score up to 97 for 3. A good-looking shot beating Simmons for 4.
Yes, indeed. And they're inching towards the 100 mark there. They're going at a good clip, 9.1. And Simmons, he is nursing a back injury, but at the same time, when he's wheeling the willow like he would have done last night, no signs of any injury. He batted with Ricardo Powell in tandem. They did a beautiful job.
So a projected score of 182, 56 balls remaining. Raza is on 22. He's batted well. And now he picks up his 23rd run, and a good man to bat in the middle here in a time when they would have lost a couple of quick wickets. Dilhara is on 10. He is supported well. And a partnership of 33, 55 balls still to be bowled as Camelas Alexander. Ball driven straight down the ground. So they're beginning to score 6 and 7 and over, and all because of some singles and twos along the ground. Ivor?
Yes, they're playing it right. There's a lot of wickets still in the hut, 7 of them. and we're just about the halfway mark on just how many 11 overs. So we've gone past the halfway mark, and the projected score, like you said, it's 180. I'm going to give them a little bit more than that if they're not going to be losing wickets.
So Ricardo Powell, 2 overs, no made, none for 21. Let's look at some bowling figures here as we get a chance. Santoki, 2 overs, no made, 1 for 15. Elmore, 2 overs, no made, none for 26. He is taking some stick. Danza Hyatt, 1 for 11. He got 1 wicket. Then Kamalas Alexander, 3 overs, no made, 1 for 19. Sonny Patel, his first over cost him 7 as Ricardo Powell continues. And Dilhara gets a good ball, turns it into the onside. And they go through quickly for a single. So that brings up the 100 here for U.S. All-Stars. They're batting at 100 for 3. With Hassan Raza on 23 not out. Dilhara is on 12. And the partnership between the pair has gone up to 35 valuable runs. And Ricardo Powell continues. He's bowling at none for 22 at the moment. Make that none for 23. And Hassan Raza on 24. Dilhara on 12. And it's 101 for 3. And I think we will welcome Audley into the box. 101 for 3, Audley.
Looking very good so far for the Indian All-Stars. Is it Indian All-Stars?
U.S. All-Stars.
Oh, U.S. All-Stars. U.S. All-Stars, sorry.
So Indian Lions takes on U.S. All-Stars. Al Masafi has already played themselves into the final. So the winner here will play Al Masafi, the Afghan team. So ball turned into the onside. We're beginning to see smart batting here from Raza and Dilhara Audley. They have now put on 38-run partnership, and we haven't seen blazing shots, but runs along the carpet beginning to add up here.
They're doing exactly what is needed right now.
And there goes another single. So good batting here from Dilhara and Hassan Raza. Raza is on 25. Dilhara is on 14. We've got 49 balls remaining.
And I must say the pitch is still looking very shine.
So ball driven towards the offside. Santoki comes across. Single was always on. And so Ivor, 12 gone. It's 105 for 3. 48 balls to be bowled.
Very, very good over there by the youngster, Ricardo Powell, captain. And we're saying that they're holding the rein. They would have started off in a canter, scoring some 60-odd runs in the first power play. But now I think that they're holding the reins. But this is the second of 2 semifinals, and I can't help but saying it. The winner stays, and the loser goes home.
So Raza on 26 will be the man on strike. Kamalas Alexander. Right arm leg spinner, bowled well last night. And in fact, along with Sonny Patel and Ricardo Powell, perhaps I'm missing a player who would have taken 3 wickets. There were 9 wickets taken in the game, 3 by Kamalas. In fact, Lopez is the man, 3 by Carlitos Lopez, and certainly 3 by Sonny Patel. Ball tugged into the onside, short ball, and turning away. And Hassan picks up 27. And oddly, you've got to be impressed here by the partnership of Dilhara and Hassan. It's 41 now.
Very steady, I must say, very steady. They are doing exactly what is needed at the moment for their team.
So 46 balls remaining. Alexander continues. Oh, no elevation. They get a single. And while, of course, we're coming down to the latter part here, 45 balls remaining. At some point, they may have to take a couple of risks here to try to speed things up.
Well, it's a good wicket. This one is flicked off the pad very nicely. They're going to be running a relaxing 2 as the throw comes in now to wicketkeeper Dennis Ramden. Take the total on up now to 109. Razak is on 29 from 22 deliveries. And the other batter, 15 from 18. What's his first name?
So ball cut away nicely here by Dilhara. Will pick up a single. Single will take him up to 16. Raza is on 28. And in fact, they'll Make that 2. So 2 off the bat of Dilhara. He goes up to 17, I think it is, and the score goes up to 110 for 3.
Yeah, 1 overthrow there. Well needed. I would assume that once it reaches like the 15th over, we'll see some buccaneering type of batting by the batters because they are setting the pace. Make sure that the opponents will never get the total.
Yes, well, it's 1-1-1. The Nelson is on the board for 3 wickets. Batsman is driving into the offside, goes to the man in the extra cover region, can't score. Dot goes into the scorer's book. So we have completed some 13 overs, 7 more to go, 7 wickets in the hut for the US All-Stars, having
current strike rate 8.5. Still impressive.
Right, so the US All-Star, they would have won the toss, called right, and elected to bat, so they're setting a target, and they're doing pretty good at this time. They can launch maybe in the next 2 overs or so. They're keeping wickets in the hut, but Ricardo Powell and the boys, an experience set on the field, they're going to try to hold the reins. Remember, I'm going to keep saying this. To get into the semi-finals was hard work. Yesterday was all quarterfinals. Now to get to the finals, it's not going to be any easy picking. Both teams deserve to be here. They are here. But somebody has got to win. Somebody has got to lose. That's why they set it as a 2020. There is no draw in the 2020 format. So winner stays, loser go home. This is one out, pitch outside the leg stump. A free hit, if you would ask me, if you would have hit the pad. In the meantime, the batters would have crossed for 1, so we're off the Nelson, and we're gone to 112 for the loss of 3 wickets.
Can I ask what followed the Nelson?
Spring. Nelson Spring. Batsman gets on the back foot, punches to extra cover. Can't score.
Or some of the
batsman gets on the back foot, punches out. The man from the deep mid-wicket area runs in the mid-on area, picks up. The batters, in the meantime, ambles through for a single. 113 for 3. So Patel right arm bowling over the wicket. This one is punching past the man at point and past the short third man and down to the boundary for 4.
beautiful late cut. Once it passed that fielder, it was going to be 4 all the way. Someone was shouting when I asked Ivor what follows Nelson, and someone was saying Mandela.
Well, he's right. 117 for 3.
Well, I know in Nevis we have a place we call Nelson Spring, so I went back home into little tiny 36 square mile island of Nevis.
So ball on the leg stump here, a wide signal by the umpire, so that'll take the score up to 118 for 3. Still 38 balls remaining.
And Nelson Spring comes, if you know your history, Horatio Nelson. He would have landed right there with Nevis, and we called the place Nelson Spring where he landed.
So Patel continues right arm next spinner. He asks his question. Oh, he's gone. So Hassan, in fact, Dilhara goes. He falls for 21. Leg before up the bowling of Sonny Patel. It's 118 for 4.
And as usual, it wouldn't be long before I take a wicket while I sit in this seat. It's been happening time and time again. It's the commentator's curse for some one of the batters. I have not sat here on resumption and would have batted out 3 overs before a wicket would have fallen. But the batter think he was hard done. He thought he was a good way down the wicket. But that's not saving you any these days, because the projected pathway of the ball, even if he hit you halfway down the wicket, if the umpire has a good eye and he thinks he would hit the stump, he would go ahead and raise that dreaded finger. We do not have the television review here system today. We do not have the hotspot or anything like that, but the umpire in his wisdom thought, although he was dancing down the wicket, got hit about 3/4 way down the wicket, he thought he was plumb LBW oddly.
Ivor, in that case, with your sort of a record, and if I was the captain of the opposing team, I would demonstrate against having you in the commentator's box, because you're going to take wickets.
They don't have a choice. That's the beauty wonderful thing about it. But I've taken quite a bit of wickets while I'm sitting here, I can tell you that.
Yes.
And Ode, well, while we have a break in the play itself, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was wonderful. I spent my Thanksgiving up in Atlanta. And, yeah, food and more food. And here I'm back in South Florida.
Well, I feel like the Lone Ranger here. I'm sitting between two family men who decided that Thanksgiving is a family day, and they're going to take the day, and either you have to do the bulk of the work. I have no choice but to be here. But indeed, I am a family man.
I owe you, Ivor.
So 37 balls remaining here. Amar Ula comes to the middle. He joins Hassan Raza. Raza is on 32. And Sonny Patel has gotten his first wicket. He's bowling at 1 for 4. So we are in over number 14 being bowled here by Patel, and Ula gets a good ball. Ball goes bouncing out towards the offside, and he can score. And Audley and Ivor, just to give you a sense of some of the big scores in this tournament, and you look at you look at the top 5 batsmen with the most runs of the tournament so far. Of course, we're into the final 2 matches. We've got Rizwan Cheema with 198 runs. In fact, yesterday he slammed 122, so 198 for him. He stands at the top of the heap. Humayun Farhat, the brother of Imran Farhat, Pakistani international, 198 runs. And he has no future in this tournament anyway, so both Rizwan Cheema and Farhat, they're gone. Both of their teams are knocked out. Even Brian Gale, number 3, with 178 runs. He has no future in this tournament. His team is knocked out. Hamza Tariq, 122 runs in this tournament. He's gone also. Rohan Mohite, 118 runs in this tournament. He is gone. And when you look at some of the alive players here, Hassan Raza, he stands on 114. So if Hassan Raza perhaps gets up to a 70 or 80 here today, he could be the man leading the most runs category. Also, Gajanan Singh, he needed 84 today. He got among the runs, but not enough. And also, we see Jaskran Malhotra. He needed 72 to at least get into the top 5. He failed today. And we'll take a look at what Simmons needs to do and what Powell needs to do and what Taylor needs to do if they want to be in the heap of the top 5 runs getter in the U.S. Open 2016 series.
So it seems like we're going to have a bowling change. Santoki is at the top of his bowling mark. Umpire Samuels checking something there with the batsmen. They are in... Oh, the cameraman was in front. Naughty. So they would have get that sorted out over at the far end where the cameraman was behind the bowler's arm, and the batter...
No.
The batter would have none of that. And Santoki coming back for his second spell, but he would not have a 4-over spell like we would have seen in the previous game with one such bowler.
Yes, Ivor, you're talking about Gulbadin Naib, and I suspect when they come to play the final here later on, watch out for another 4-over spell from Gulbadin. The plan has worked, and I'm pretty sure they'll take whatever has worked, especially in the semi-final, to get into the final. 119 for 4 here. Hassan Raza is on 32 not out. He has batted well. And Santoki bowling at 2.1, 1 for 15 so far.
Yes, so Santoki with the left arm bowling over the wicket, and the batsman is getting some will on this, playing out to the cover point. The man from the backward point runs to his right, picks up. In the meantime, the batters with a cross for 1. The score goes on to 119 for 4. Brings the newcomer Yula on strike, and he will be facing Santoki. Santoki would have bowled 2.2 overs, 17 runs, and he's in the W column. W here means wicket.
So 34 balls remaining here. Ula is yet to get off the mark. He's faced 1 ball. Hassan Raza is on 33. He has batted well, the captain Hassan Raza. And as we made mention just the other day, ball going down the leg side will be called a wide. And as we mentioned, we have mentioned during the course of this tournament, the man Hassan Raza on record he holds a very distinctive record as being one of the youngest players to have played Test cricket, 14 days and 227 days.
Yes, indeed. And again, we just want to say high praises to Paul Mott for doing all the hard works behind the scene, and sometimes we tend to not mention the guys who you're not seeing or hearing, and we just have to say that scoreboard you're looking at, look as pretty as can be, and that's the way to go. We are moving on up, so we are moving on up like the Jeffersons. Even with ESPN, you can view the cricket if you're not in the vicinity of the Central Bowed Regional Park.
So 33 balls remaining here is Santoki. Oh, that's a big shot. Good looking shot here from Ula. It clears the playing area, goes up to straight mid wicket, and that's a big shot from Ula. He goes up to 6. It's 126 for 4.
Yes, so getting off the mark with a 6 is telling me that the batter has all the confidence in the world, and he's not playing the name, but he's playing that 5.5-ounce leather.
So a good looking shot here from Amar Ula. He goes up to 6. And ball turned into the offside, can't score, and that's the irony of cricket here. We saw Amar Ula using up some balls, yet to get off the mark, and with one scoring shot, he's striking at a very high strike rate. It's 126 for 4, 31 balls still to be bowled. And if you've just missed what has happened earlier on, Gajanan Singh, he made 33, Jaskaran without scoring, Akeem Dotson for 20. Dilhara for 21. And you're looking on your screen here, Amar Ula, he goes up to 7. Hassan Raza on 33. It's 127 for 4.
Yes, I've come to the end of another Santoki over. He has put number 3 in the bank, and Audi has gone for 24 runs for his lone wicket.
Yeah, not Santoki's like, usually he's very tight and very hard to get away. But this time he has conceded 8 per over. Yeah. And you mentioned the scores, Ivor. I had it for my next item. They're working feverishly behind the scene. Very impressive. Just sometimes when you look at the screen.
And there's a swing, and there's a loud appeal by Dennis Ramdin, and he's thinking and hoping that there was a nick on that one, but the umpire is unmoved. He did not see a thing, he didn't hear a thing, so all the jubilation was all in vain for Ramdin. He was jumping like a spring chicken, still one of the better keepers in all of the Caribbean and probably worldwide, I can tell you that. Very unfortunate he's not on one of the West Indies team. I always thought that Ramdin should have been the ODI captain for West Indies. He's a tactical guy. He has a good cricketing head. He has a good cricket brain. So I think somewhere along the line they would have missed out.
Yes. So I was saying, Mr. David Maitland also. At times when we look at the screen, before we know it, the run was already added. We were waiting for the run to be added. We had to ask. It was already added. Very impressive. Our scores.
Yes, workmanlike, hard-working David Maitland, been here since Thursday, so he joins me. We don't have a family. And this one is going aerial, but one bounce to the sweeper cover. He aborted the attempted catch. He did the right thing. He could have probably gone all the way, and the ball may have passed him. But earlier in the day, we would have seen an injury, and I had a talk with the young man, and he's in quite a bit of pain. You can see his shoulder all swollen, but he was on his way to the hospital. Let's hope that he is okay.
Well, also let's hope he is covered by Obamacare.
Well, and go past that, Audi will tell you, let's hope he's in the hands of the Lord.
Amen.
So it's 128 for 4. We are in over number 16, being bowled here by Sunny Patel.
And for the viewers, we know when we get off the cricket, you're not missing any cricket because it's been streamed live thanks to ESPN coming on board in this, the 8th year of the U.S. Cricket Council USA tournament.
So Patel continues, comes into bowl to Ula. Ula gets a ball outside the off stump, turning away. He doesn't play. And that completes over number 16. It's 129 for 4. 24 balls remaining. Ula is on 8. Hassan Raza is on 34. And we've got some 24 balls remaining. And oddly, just coming back here to the work done by David and our scoring staff here, they've They have certainly been efficient and very effective. And yes, you're right on that. Part of good scoring is anticipating when you see a ball going to the far areas of the cricket ground, start scoring twos, start scoring fours. And I think that's what exactly good scoring is, anticipating. And that is why signals from the umpires has to be very precise and very clear. There's something that the umpires refer to as pre-signals, in that, for example, a ball comes off the pad, you're not too sure if it came off the pad or the bat, but you see runs are being run in the middle. Some umpires, or most umpires, will start to give you an indication of what has happened. They'll start touching their leg. So you as a scorer, while you wait until play stops, you will already know that, get ready, this is a leg by. I know this umpire very well, and I know his style. So 24 balls remaining, make that 23. It's 131 for 4.
Indeed, you are so right. You are so right. There is a car show going on the outside. For those who you're here watching cricket, or you want to go and enjoy the car show that is going on, you can come on down if you're viewing and you're a fan of beautiful cars, classic cars and so forth. Come on down and view the car show.
So Ricardo Powell, he comes back for another spell,
and yes, he's been bowling on both ends, and he's trying to work the magic, and he's doing it the Darren Ganga way, I would say, keeping you guessing. Don't know who's going to come next, but he's been trying everything. He's been bowling over the wicket, he's bowling around the wicket. He has not jumped over the stump and bowled. So Ricardo Powell, captain in hand. We saw an captain's inning last night. That's how he got to here. He and Lyndon Simmons put on a show to show you what batting and getting out of a hole, the way to do it. So any schoolboy who were looking last night, I'm sure they got a lesson, and they got it through ESPN last night.
So Raza is on 35. Captain of U.S. All-Stars. Leading from the front. It's 131 for 4. We've got 20 balls remaining. The winner here plays Al Masafi, the Afghan team. And in fact, the Afghan team, Ivor and Audley, they have returned back to their hotel to just perhaps to get some much needed rest, and they'll return here when this match is over.
Yes, and we're expecting to see a good finals. I think the better teams are here, and I'm going to say it again. The winner stays, and the loser goes home.
So 4 out of the 5 teams are in the semifinals from Group 1. And in fact, only Miami Sharks missing from the 5 franchise team group. And in fact, the competition this year was set up in such a way that all 5 teams in Group 1 would have advanced automatically to the QF stage, the quarterfinal stage. And so only Miami Sharks missing out on an opportunity to be playing here on this Sunday.
Yeah, they were replaced by the Dark Horse, Al Masafi, and we are saying they're in with a good chance. They're going to be well rested to take on the weary legs of whoever gets past this semi-final.
So Sonny Patel bowling at 1 for 17 off 3. He's bowled well, and in fact the other night, as we made mention, along with Carlito Lopez, Alexander, and Sonny Patel, they got 3 wickets each, and it was the man Sonny Patel who created a lot of problems and didn't seem to be understood by the batsman. And so now he comes in bowling at 1 for 18. This is his final over. 17 balls remaining. Ula, the man on strike, he's on 9, and we've seen a partnership of 16.
Yes, as Patel comes in, right, and he's swinging this one. He's getting a good hold of it. Yes, no, maybe. And he spells it, and it's rolling back. Did he go into the boundary board? We'll watch and wait. In the meantime, the batters would have crossed for 2.
I think that was a great attempt by the fielder down there, just missing out, and the ball went by, maybe in the boundary, waiting on the umpire.
No, they settled for 2. The umpire is satisfied that he did not touch the rope while he was touching the ball, So not a boundary there.
So 135 for 4, 16 balls remaining. An attempted cut goes through to Dinesh Ramden. Score remains of 135 for 4, 15 balls remaining. Lots of wicket in hand here. And US All-Star perhaps would want to accelerate. Ula and Hassan Raza. Raza is the set batsman.
One wide.
But he's typically a stroke player more than anything else. 136 on the board. We've got 15 balls still remaining here as Ula and Hassan Raza battles Indian Lions. Indian Lions, of course, led by Ricardo Powell. And a well put together squad.
Beach cricket, bump ball, shouts coming from the crowd, but not out.
So we're here at the Central Broward Regional Park, international playing facility. And the ground, oh, that's a big shot here from Ula. He clears the wideish long on area. It goes a long way. It's out of the park. And it goes for a maximum here. He goes up to 17. It's 142 for 4.
Yes, that's a big shot. That's a big man shot. I'm telling you, he got maximum. He would have tried it earlier in the over, but he didn't get past the square leg. He didn't get over, he said, but this time he got all of it with these big heavy bats that they have this year.
So 13 balls remaining. Here is Patel. That's a better ball. Makes a good comeback. Ula remains on 17. The partnership has gone up to 25. So 12 balls remaining. And oddly, it's 143 for 4. In fact, 142 for 4 with a projected score of 158, 12 balls remaining.
Yes, that 6 moments ago, that was one of those that would have deserved the 8 if there was such a thing. You know, but real big hit. I know the projection is 158, but with 12 deliveries to go, I'm going to say they'll be hovering at 170. 12 deliveries, I'm saying 170. Regarding the Afghanistan team, you know, when we hear the name Afghanistan, it's always associated with Al-Qaeda or Taliban and so forth. Now it's totally different. When we hear about Afghanistan, we're talking about cricket, the great uniter, you know, uniting the people. And it's good to see that they are playing not just cricket, but great international cricket.
Yes, oddly. So 12 balls remaining. Chris Santoki has been given the ball. 3 overs, no made, none, 1 for 24. And so 12 balls remaining here. It's 142 for 4. And yes, oddly, you're right on that. Outside of the 10 test playing nation, all the way from Australia to Zimbabwe, you've got a pair of 2 top teams playing good cricket these days. And of course, you know where I'm going with this. One of them being Afghanistan and the other being Ireland. So if ever the way the setup is, it won't be long before both Afghanistan or perhaps Ireland and even Scotland be granted full one international status. And so you're right on that. Amidst the certainly the problems, the civil problems that Afghanistan has, and with the whole issue of how unsafe the Middle East and certainly Asia has become, one suspect that one of the bright things about Afghanistan is that the cricket team has arose and have climbed the associate ladder quite well in quick time.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things with the Afghanistan team that I have in common is Captain Mohammed Nabi. We share birthday, not the same year, but New Year's Day.
And not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, oddly, on that same note, we saw the Nepali national team here in the United States. They were in Texas, and they won the 2X series out at Musa Stadium. So we're beginning to see some of the associate playing nations coming into U.S.-based tournament.
Yes.
So ball played up towards a wide-ish third man area, trying to get an improvised shot in, a shot that goes not horribly wrong, but certainly not quite well. And they pick up a couple of runs at 145 for 4.
What went horribly wrong there was the overthrow. It was very unnecessary. But oddly say his birthday is on the 1st of the year. I don't think I want to be having a birthday on the 1st of the year. When that first day would have gone in the year, you have to wait until the whole of next year for another birthday. My word.
So 9 balls remaining here. Ula is on 19. 38 to Hassan Raza, a big swing and a miss. And now they will go through for what could be a leg bye. We'll wait and see. In fact, bye is the call, and as we have alluded to during the course of our broadcast here in a couple of days, that's a fielding error.
Yes.
Not going against the bowler. It's a bye.
Yeah, but I can tell you what happened there, because Lyndon Simmons is reserving his strength for the batting, because if he would have been more alert and aggressive, he would have prevented that single.
So 8 balls remaining, and I wonder if we're having any athletics today.
Well, we have to get with Trini to get some noise starting outside, because that's how it started last night, with a big argument who was quicker. And like we said, 2 horses in the race, somebody has got to come second. You were saying last, but it was a first and a second.
So Indian Lions battling U.S. All-Stars. The news, Al-Masafi is into the final. We see what a weird way to get the ball back to the bowler. Lendl Simmons at wide third man throws the ball all the way to long on, all the way to the fence. And then that ball comes back to Santoki. Never seen one of that.
And he had a stare down from the umpires, like, are you deliberately wasting my time?
Oh, we've got to be careful in these days of international cricket. Oh, cut away. Nice looking shot. Driven through the offside from Hassan Raza. And he picks up another boundary. It's 150 for 4.
Yes, Santoki guilty of overpitching there, going full to the bat. He has got to hit the turf. And we are asking the question now. Would this be the last delivery we are seeing in the tournament from Santoki? We'll have to watch and wait. He'll have to win this game to get into the finals. If not, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to ask him to take a bow. So the 20th over is going to be coming up now. It's going to be bowled by, we're going to check that in a minute. But in the meantime, the 150 has come up on the board. And like I said, the U.S. All-Star would have won the toss, elected to bat, trying to pose a total. So we're still looking to see who's going to be bowling. Oh, Danza Hyatt. Every time he comes down to bowl, as of last night, he was always in the wicket column. Already he's in the wicket column, getting a wicket, I think, was with his first ball?
Yes.
Yes, and now Ricardo Powell has entrusted everything into the hand of Danza Hyatt. Known for his batting, but he had a possible hat-trick last night.
A little change where Hyatt is concerned. Now he's known by his exploit as a bowler.
So 6 balls remaining here, 150 for 4. So Ula is on 19. We've seen a partnership of 32. Here is Danza Hyatt. Oh, wide outside the off stump. Not a good start here, but certainly a good one for U.S. All-Stars. They still will have to face 6 balls. They have 1 added to their score, 151 for 4.
So just let me correct that. When I said last night, I mean his last game, which will have been Friday.
So 151 for 4. The projected score of 160. 150, 160 has been the par score on this ground since Thursday. A shot here by Ula goes wrong. And a dot ball here from Danza Hyatt. So he has started the final over. 5 balls remaining. It's a 151 for 4.
And he's trying to keep it within the ropes. I'm sure that's the instructions he got from Captain Ricardo Powell. Keep it within the ropes. If you're going to give 6 singles, we still have to chase under 160. And he's trying his work.
So Danza Hyatt, 30-plus first-class representation for Jamaica in regional cricket. And again, outside the off-stump, another wide.
Just before this wide, the batter attempted a dill scoop, but he misses completely.
Well, we have seen the ram scoop that we had the other night, so we'll have to give him a name.
Yes, we see Sai Ramesh playing the Ramesh scoop or the ram scoop.
Yeah, the ram scoop.
We called it the ram scoop the other night.
Yes, and he was richly rewarded with a boundary.
So 152 for 4, 5 balls remaining. Ula goes swinging towards the onside. There's protection out there. It appears to be Elmore Hutchison. He brings it in. It's only a single. It's 153 for 4. So 4 balls remaining here. Danza High, three in the over so far.
It would appear as if we're going to be falling very low, below my projection of 170.
Too early to call. Still have 4 deliveries.
You're right, Ivor.
Danza he's been bowling tightly ever since in this tournament. He's only human, so let's see if something's going to give way. The law of Av would say he has to give up something.
So Raza continues to bat well in this tournament. He has crossed the 50 a couple of times, and now he's not far away from a 50, but may not have the opportunity or the balls to really get to that. He goes up to 43. It's 154 for 4.
So shall I sit or should I remain sitting or should I stand?
Well, I think you can sit for this one because we're just 3 balls away. And so he may not be afforded the privilege of really moving on to get 50. He's 7 away with 3 balls remaining. And the fact is he's not on strike. So Ula, he's on 20. Oh, that's a big shot. That could clear long on. In fact, it does. Stephen Taylor looks up and it goes overhead. And it goes for a 6. A well-played shot here from Ula. He goes up to 26. 160 for 4.
Okay, so 2 balls to reach 170. 2 balls, 2 sixes.
Can be done. A 6 and a 4.
So Danza High at number 5. A couple of balls remaining here. 10 in the over so far. And certainly a good over so far for U.S. All-Stars. Indian Lions would certainly like none of it. And the ball outside the off-stump beats Ramdin and it goes away.
There's your 4. And so there's your 4 order. You just need a 6.
Just need a 6.
Buys. And this one went to the legs of Ramdin. And I can say now, I'm going to count this as my second batter who be stalled in the 40s. So I can sit.
So 164 for 4.
You got that?
So last ball coming up, 14 in the over. Certainly not a good one here for Indian Lions. Amar Ula on 26, a partnership of 46. Final ball coming up. Here is Danza Hyatt. He runs in from the CBRB Pavilion in. And outside the off stump, will that work? In fact, it is a good ball. 164 for 4.
A dot ball, ladies and gentlemen. Final ball, a dot ball. So I fell short by some 6 runs, 164. It's a good score, but I would not say it's a daunting score. You know, it's something, we're looking for something 180s, 190s. Ivor?
Yes, well, I thought all along this wicket is 175, 180 wicket, but here it is. We have 2 champion teams. They've worked their way into the semifinals. They would have posted 164, means 165 for the victory. I'm going to say it again. The winner stays to play the final, getting a chance at $50,000 US. The loser will go home. But they will not be going home empty-handed. From the quarterfinals, they're going to be getting some moiety, and it's even bigger to get into the semifinals.
You know, money is a motivation. You know, we say money make the horses gallop.
Makes the mare go.
Yes,
all right.
Indeed. And sometimes it costs to do the impossible. So let's see what's going to be happening when the All-Stars, is the All-Stars?
So we're looking at the 2 umpires going left, right, like 2 soldiers. Left, right, left, right. Government boots, I'm telling you. So once again, we just want to say thank you to ESPN for carrying the streaming live, coming to you from Central Broward Regional Park. And we know people all around the world, lots of viewers, and it's gone into the millions, I've been told. So for the folks who are in the vicinity of the Central Broward Regional Park, which is situated at Sunrise Boulevard, West End, 441, State Road 7, if you may, we're asking you to grace us with your presence. There's still plenty of spaces in here to be filled. And you would have just heard Lenny Archibald, Audley Watson, and yours truly, Ivor Henry. And we are going to be taking you to your bathroom to take a bathroom break, if you may. We'll see you in a moment.
it's mine, it's mine, yeah. I don't make up my mind, I don't make up my mind, yes, so I tell me your calendar for party, cause you see this year can't miss me. So I'm up in every fest, and I'm up in everything. You can hear me say, I don't make up my mind, make up my mind. I leave all this mind, I leave all this mind. It's fine, this year and this is no time. This is no time. I leave all this mind, I leave all this mind.
Tell me, who will it be? Who will it be? Will it be the U.S. All-Star? Will it be the Indian Lions? Them boys from Afghanistan waiting for them, you know.
So I'm up in every fest, I'm up in everything. You get everything, I don't make up my mind. I leave all this mine, it's mine, it's mine. Come home to jump up and wine, yeah, and wine. I leave all this mine. Today I tell you, today I tell you, since I reach in the sweat is non-stop working, yeah. Come out, we'll live my life.
Big up my friend Obi every time.
Yeah. Tell somebody bring the eyes. When I put up my right hand so, put up my left hand so, I can't describe this feeling inside. I must take a wine on you when you whine and go down low. Baby, go down low. Can't think of nothing else that I want you to do. Push back on me, I want you to. Push back on me, I beg you. Push back on me, I want you to. Push back on me, yeah, go down when you whine. I want you to. Push back on me, I want you to. Push back on me, I beg you. Push back on me, push back on me. This is how I is charming. I just want you to. Push back on me. When you hear this one, give me waist like you feel like. This is how I is charming. I just want you to. Push back on me, push back on me. I want you to. Push back on me. In collect the costume, I not sleeping, yeah. You roll it cold in there.
For bowling, number 16. The bowler is number 16. Okay. So Shaw is the bowler. And who is taking first knock? Stephen Taylor. So welcome back here. The one chase will begin shortly. The umpires are in the ready position and the fielders are getting themselves in the position that they would like to place themselves on the field. We know that no more than 2 fielders can be outside of the 30-yard circle. The umpires, Nemhart and Samuels, they're going to make sure that that does not happen. And if it happens, they will make sure someone gets penalized. So the Indian Lions are going to try to get to 165 for victory. Should I say 155 to get to the finals?
So Najaf Shaw, the left arm seamer, will start here. Stephen Taylor will be the man on strike. Zenith Fowler is at the non-striker's end. And here is the first ball to start Indian Lions. And getting a good ball here is Taylor. He pushes up towards the offside and he can score. So 165 required from 119 balls.
Well, Taylor covers up there nicely, and it seems as if he's going to be meaning business. Money's on the line, your pride is on the line. You would have worked this hard from Thursday, Friday, Saturday to get to the point of semifinals. Now you want to make one big leap step to mankind. You're going to go on the moon.
So Fowler also gets an opportunity here to create an impact here, certainly on the big stage and on the internet. And Fowler will come in here backing up Stephen Taylor. Taylor is yet to get off the mark, but there's 3 runs on the board, all courtesy of Whites. And Najaf Shaw runs in. He's running well into Fowler. Fowler nibbles at one outside the off stump, and it goes through to Jasker and Malhotra. That's a good ball. It's 3 without loss. So 2 without loss, and we've got that straightened out now. Here is Fowler. Fowler steers it up towards point. And always a busy area, high trafficking area. Ivor?
Yes, always, always. And that's the position where you put your more alert fielder for a better term.
So Gajanan Singh.
Fielder.
Gajanan Singh out at backward point. Very important areas in the earlier part of any innings. Fowler is yet to get off the mark. He's only faced a couple of balls. Taylor has no run on the board himself, and a couple of runs on the tins here because of extras. Oh, he gets a good ball, turns it out towards backward point. Field is coming around, will not get there, and it goes away for 4. So Fowler gets off the mark with a boundary. He's on 4-6 without loss.
Yes, and that was a valiant effort there by the man on point. He was always away from him, so it's not going to go down as a misfield, but he gave it all its worth. He just got over an inch from being a midget.
So 6 for none, 159 more from 114 balls. And the winner here will earn the right to play into the final. He'll take on Al Masafi, that we know for sure. And it appears Orlando Johnson has been called up here, so he will come in from the bottom end of the ground. And Ivor is still anybody's game here with 6 on the board.
Yes, indeed. And like you say, these 2 teams would have earned their way here. They did not get here by getting into the bag and pulling a lucky number. They would have been working hard from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and trying their best to raise that coveted trophy. We would have seen it over there. I think it would have weighed somewhere in the vicinity of some 30 pounds. But again, let's just go ahead and give the umpires a really big round of applause. They've been really outstanding. They've been on time. They've been, making decisions which we all are in favor of, because we have not seen too many where the batters would be really disappointed. We would have seen some disappointment from the batters, but when asked, they were more disgusted with themselves than with the umpire's decision.
So Johnson starts. Ball played away here by Stephen Taylor. He gets off the mark, and he'll come back for 2. So 2 to Taylor, 4 to Fowler. And they've made a good start here, a very safe start, one would say at this point. They're 8 on the board. No wickets yet. And yes, coming back to the umpires, the umpiring standard this tournament has been at a very top level. Out in the middle, we see Wayne and Samuels.
But a birdie just picked me in my ear and said, you know why was it at such a high standard? Because the umpires were aware that they were on ESPN.
So 8 for no loss. Stephen Taylor on 2. Fowler is on 4.
There you go. And in these days, you never know. Contracts are going up all around the board. So when you're on show, you have to give of your best. And you know the saying, when you would have given up your best,
that's a good-looking shot. Good-looking shot here from Stephen Taylor. And he goes for 6 over the onside, and that's a lovely shot for 6.
Yes, indeed. The first maximum of this inning in the run chase. So Taylor briskly move on to 8 from some 5 deliveries. But I was going to say that when an umpire would have done his best, not even angels in heaven can do better.
So Stephen Taylor goes up to 8. A big scoring shot. Fowler is on 4. Is 14 without loss. 151 more to win from 112 balls. We're in the second over being bowled here by Orlando Johnson. And so far he's given up 8 in the over so far. The play and a miss here by Stephen Taylor, and certainly Ivor. You yourself on ESPN, so you got to make sure that the contracts doesn't pass you by.
Yes, I've seen some dots already. I just have to sign on the dotted lines. There'll be plenty of dots. We've been commentating on plenty of dots over here.
So Taylor on 8. He's looked good. Ball defended onto the offside. They'll go through for 1. So 150 more needed from 110 balls. Fowler comes into strike, who hasn't had many playing opportunities with a very strong Indian Lions setup here. When you have a lineup with the likes of Mervyn Dillon, Orlando Baker, Devian Davison on the bench, it tells you something else about the strength of the Indian Lions team. Well put together squad. And you look at their camp, and they brought a couple of plane loads here. And it will take 3 JetBlue to take them back home tomorrow. Ball defended here by Fowler. He can't score. He remains on 4. 9 to Taylor's 15 without loss.
And again, we just have to give it to the creator, Obi. We're saying that we're giving it to you. We always have to big up the men behind the scenes, and you would have done a good job, my man. Very well.
So Obi makes sure that the real estate out there is well prepared, and so far so good. We've seen a lot of run scores on this track.
So Johnson is quite pacey, and this batsman was trying to swivel to pull him to the deep square leg position, but the ball rushed onto him, and he's in a bit of a discomfort, but he has pride. He's not going to hit the canvas, but we saw the referee getting over him there, ready to give him the 8 mandatory standing count, but he's up and on his feet. Thank God that the over is done. He can catch his breath.
So a very important match here for the U.S. All-Stars. They would have gotten into one of the previous U.S. Open finals. I remember it might have been 2012. And it might have been beaten by Trinidad and Tobago. I think it's the year when Shoaib Akhtar visited here. 15 without loss. Stephen Taylor will be the man on strike. Najaf Shah, who has proved to be a handful in this series. He runs in from the far end. And Taylor, that cracking shot through the offside, beats the man at point, and it goes away for 4. So Stephen Taylor.
He didn't even move. That's it. Taylor knew that he was going to misfield that, so he stayed there for the camera and earned himself 4 runs, and that takes him into double figures. He is onto my favorite lucky 13. Keep an eye on us. Keep an eye on us. Oh.
So 13 to Taylor of just 8 balls. It's 19 for no loss. And Najaf Shah, certainly one of the taller cricketers around here. Got mistaken for Mohamed Irfan by a cricket fan, so had to point him in the right direction. That Mohamed Irfan is 7-something, so can't be him. So 19 for none. Here is Stephen Taylor, 13 not out. And he's getting wrapped on the pad. Oh, he's given out. So Stephen Taylor falls for 13. It's 19 for 1. Najaf Shah strikes here early. Taylor gone for 13.
Yes, that one hit him, and Taylor thought he may have been outside the off stump or getting a little high, but umpire Samuels thought that he would send Taylor on his way. But Taylor was beginning to look good, but he fell for the unlucky 13 from 9. So the first wicket in the run chase would have gone 19 for 1. Taylor walks back a dejected man, disappointed in either his play or the umpire's decision. Either way, he's not a happy man, but he's just have to kneel and pray and hope that his team get over the line, or else this would be the last we're seeing of Taylor in this 8th year of the U.S. Open competition.
Once again, the goat mouth of Ivor. Just mentioned the unlucky 13, and there goes Taylor. I say if I was a captain of the opposing team, I would demonstrate against having Ivor at the microphone.
Well, one of my favorite batsmen has replaced Taylor, Dennis Ramdin. I would always say, I always believe that Dennis Ramdin can make the West Indies team as a batsman. Just like Jeffrey Dujon would have made the team as a batsman and then turned keeper. I think he could have started as a wicketkeeper and turned batsman. He has a good cricketing head, especially in the ODIs. We are asking for Craig Brathwaite to be in the team, to just suck up balls. But a guy like Ramden, that's the guy I would have in my wonder team.
Especially he was spotted by the great Sir Viv Richards himself, you know. So we want to have Ramden in the ODI team.
Yes, so Shah comes in, bowls him, and this time he's covering up, playing it back along the track on the onside. And he's not going to gift his wicket away, I can tell you that. He's a stiff competitor, and we're into the power plays, but power play does not mean you have to give away your hand. We've seen so many wickets would have fallen in the power play. But 19 for 1, and Ramden comes to the wicket, and he's going to do battle. He has not really been on show with the bat in this tournament, so sometimes you leave the best for last. Hopefully for him, this is not the last. They're trying to get to another game to be played after this. Sure, it is. This time he's working this one nicely off the pads, and they're running on the stroke. Good running, good understanding between these two, as Ramden was tucked up, turning it around the corner neatly to a short mid-wicket, and he is on the way. The score goes up to 20 for 1. Fowler comes into strike. He's batting 4 from 5. And the partnership has just got underway. It's 1. Taylor would have gone for lucky 13.
Yes, Ivor, it's a keen contest here. Dinesh Ramden is on 1, Fowler is on 4. They've lost Stephen Taylor. And Najaf Shah bowling at 1 for 10. Dinesh Ramden, 74 tests, 139 one-day international. So a lengthy representation at the international level for the West Indies. And, of course, we all know he would have captained West Indies on many occasions. It's 20 for 1. Fowler is on 4. He faces up and waits for Najaf Shah, who's had a good series and so far a good game. And Fowler gets a ball. He has to defend. This is good bowling here from Najaf Shah. And so 145 needed from 103 as the third over comes to an end. So 3 gone is 20 for 1.
Yes, a successful over there. One in which Taylor, we would have seen the back of him. And Ollie is here to describe. And Ollie, along the way, you can give us some scores with international matches.
Okay, lots of international cricket is being played presently. So, in between overs, I'll be giving you report on some of those matches. Pakistan is presently playing New Zealand in a test match. New Zealand was all out for 271. In return, Pakistan had bowled out for 216. And in the second innings, Pakistan is not without loss in a rain-delayed play. And so they'll be starting their second innings tomorrow or later tonight, our time. So it's 271 for New Zealand in 83 overs and 4 balls. And Pakistan replied 217 in 67 overs. And they are yet to commence their second innings.
Well, play's been held up here a little while Audi gets himself organized there. The umpires would have conferred. We do not know what's taking place, but 5 ball. Okay, so the over was not completed, so we still have to have the 6th ball bowled. So the fielders have got to go back in their position because Shaw, with his tails up, having taken a wicket in this over already, the wicket of Taylor, he has yet to bowl one legal delivery to make it an over.
So play resumes here. Fowler on strike, and here is Najaf Shah, his 6th ball. And defending is Fowler. He gets a single up towards the offside, and now for the second time the over comes to an end. And as we saw earlier on, oddly, with Merv Dillon here, it took 3 West Indian bowlers to finish an over. It took a couple of tries here to finish this one. 21 for 1.
It's finally over. Finally over.
Yes.
And over. Okay, some of the main scorers in the New Zealand team. Opener Raval scored 55. Taylor, 37. And wicketkeeper, 49 not out. Watlin, 49 not out.
So Johnson will continue. The first over cost him 9. They still require 144 from 102 balls. Indian Lions take on U.S. All-Stars. Fowler will be on strike, and he faces up to Johnson. And he's cutting and cutting well. He gets the ball past the man at backward point. Chance of a run out here. In fact, wrong end perhaps. And Fowler makes it home. He goes up by 1. He goes up to 6. It's 22 for 1.
Yes, that's poor winning there by Fowler, though. To be honest with you, that was always 2. He turned his back on his batter, and the man was in the deep, and he was going to take on his arm. One was going back to the danger end, but the Fowler would have settled for 1. When you're in a run chase, you've got to run hard. You've got to try to overhaul that 165. But anyway, it's the man's age. It's 21 for 1. Hold on.
So Ramden has been playing at the international level for a very, very long time. Some 74 tests, 139 won international, and not forgetting T20 international. And so he comes in here with certainly a wealth of experience. 22 for 1 here, Ivor.
Yes? 24, 21. Let's get it right. 22. 22, yes.
So ball played over the mid-on area. Fielder had a play on it. And it goes away for 4 off the bat of Dennis Ramden. He goes up to 5. It's 26 for 1.
Yes, you don't really hit Johnson too hard. He bowls with venom. I remember last night what happened when he got hit, man. He started bowling with some venom. But Ramden, like we say, will have none of it.
So 26 for 1. Ramden is on 5. Fowler is on 6. And we're in the 4th over being bowled here by Johnson. 139 needed from 99 balls. An asking rate of 8.42. 26 for 1. The ball cut away here by Ramden. They scamper through for an easy single in the end. And Ramden goes up to 6. Fowler is also on 6. It's 27 for 1.
Yes, well, good running again between these two. Like we said, they've got to get the wheels on. 27 for 1. And they are really trying to get to the 165. We would have seen the demise of Taylor already, gone for 13.
So Fowler, the man on strike. And ball played up towards the onside. And Ivor, over time, you've lived here for a long time in South Florida. You've seen a lot of local cricket. And what I've got to say, and with the likes of Dennis Ramden and certainly Lendell Simmons and some of the top West Indian players in this tournament, what I've seen over the years, observing and certainly being around cricket here, is that sometimes the likes of these international players like Ramden and Lendell Simmons, they come to the United States and their expectation is perhaps underrating local cricket here. And a lot of times we've seen players with big reputation come here, and they've had to work hard for their runs, surprised by the level of competition here. And you know what I'm talking about. But over the years, we've seen the U.S. Open, and the U.S. Open has attracted many international players. Boy, but I'll tell you something, they've had to work for their runs, and if they're bowlers, they've had to bowl hard for the wicket. And that just goes to show the level of competition in the United States.
Yes.
Back to the second test match between New Zealand and Pakistan. The main wicket takers for Pakistan: Mohammad Amir, 2 for 59. Imran Khan, 3 for 52. Sohail Khan, 4 for 99. And in reply, the Pakistanis are 216, and the main scorers were Babar Azam. He made 90 runs of a total 216. Babar Azam, 90 runs. And Asad Shafiq, 23. And Sohail Khan, 37.
You got that one?
Main wicket takers. Tim Saudi, 6 for 80. 6 for 80. And Neil Wagner, 3 for 59. The main destroyers for New Zealand.
So Junaid Siddiqui has been given the ball here. Is 29 for 1. Ramden is on 6. He will be the man on strike. Fowler is on 8. Indian Lions requires another 136 from 96 balls. And so Ramden gets ready to face Junaid Shahid Afridi Siddiqui. The ball worked into the onside. Ramden goes up to 7, and it's 30 for 1, Ivor.
Yes, 7 from 5 for Ramden, and keeping company is Fowler at the top of the inning. He's an 8 from 10. And again, the winner stays and the loser goes home.
So Al-Masafi already booked a place in the final. And they could be somewhere lurking around, just making sure that things are well in place here and just making sure that they get a chance to see one of their opponents who will play them in a couple of hours. It's 30 for 1, still lots of cricket left here, 135 to win from 94 balls.
And it's the biggest crowd we've seen from the 4 days. So Sundays when we really play cricket here, bang to the offside, and he's going to be getting only 1 for his effort. As there's a man stationed at the wide mid-off position, once his left picks up. And I started saying about the crowd, today we have, well, not a packed crowd, but at least it's the best we've seen for the 4 days. ESPN, everyone's looking at ESPN.
Yes, Ivor, ball worked away towards the mid-wicket area. Dotson is coming around. Can he get there? In fact, he gets to the ball and makes a very good save. He gets a round of applause here from the commentary box. And they come back with 2. What a save there from Hakeem Dotson.
Yes, my word, that's effort. And any bowler would like that. Once you're putting in the effort in the field, that bowler tail will go up just as if he would have taken a wicket. But it was a good stroke there. I can tell you it was all along the turf to the mid-wicket. The fielder, square leg, ran to his left with all his worth in the manner of a Usain Bolt, caught up with it, stayed in bounds and rifled in the throw, held the batsman down to 2.
So Ivor, straight to mid-off, and that's the end of the Ramden. Ramden goes for 9. It's 33 for 2.
Oh, my word, I'm telling you, showed signs of aggression there, but he hit it straight to the man there at the mid-off position, stationed there, mid-on. Shaw, the Shaw who's been bowling from the other end. So Shaw has had a good feel of the ball because he has bowled some 2 overs. He has bowled, some 2 overs already.
Yes, Ivor, but for right now, Dinesh Ramden trying to go over the tallest cricketer out in the middle there and simply didn't succeed. So he's gone. And Lendell Simmons walks to the middle. It's 33 for 2.
Okay, let's take a look at this third test match being played between England and India. England, they were all out for 283. And Captain Cook, 27. And Bairstow, the mainstay, 89. Along with Butler, 43. And wicket takers for India was Mohammad Shami, 3 for 63. Yadav, we have 2 Yadavs now. J Yadav, 2 for 49, and UT Yadav, 2 for 58. And Ashwin, 1 for 43, and Dejaja, 2 for 59.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so at the fall of the wicket, he has replaced Ramden, one Trinidadian to another. Siddiqui has struck as soon as he gets in his first over. And this time the batters run single. And I would think that Fowler was a little late in getting off the mark there. He has got to do better than that. Lendell Simmons was his call. And as a batter, as a non-striker, you have got to be backing up. You have to be alert. It's a 20-20 over. You have got to be looking to score from every ball. So that was poor cricket on his part. That's twice we would have seen him lapse in his short, brief stay so far. 34 it is for 2. Fowler is on 9. Simmons just reaching to the wicket. He is on 1 from 1.
Yet in reply, the Indians, there are 271 for 6. Vajera, 51. Virat Kohli, 62. Patel, wicketkeeper and opening bat, he made 42. And Ashwin is not out presently, 57. And Jadeja on 31. They will resume batting later tonight. Our time.
So Johnson continues. Lendell Simmons, we'll have to wait and see if he got touch on this one.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, he's gone away for 4. So Lendl Simmons, he picks up his first boundary. He goes up to 5 and pushes the score up to 38 for 2 as Indian Lions fight back here. They still need 127 from 89 balls. Simmons is on 5. Fowler is on 9. It's 38 for 2. They have lost Taylor for 13. And they have lost Dinesh Ramden for 9. Couple of wickets, one from Junaid Siddiq and one from Najaf Shaw. 38 for 2. As we see Orlando Johnson from the bottom end of the ground, the pavilion end. And he runs it now to both Lendl Simmons. And Simmons works this one away. Good looking shot, looking for 2. They're running quickly. Fielder gets onto the ball now. And the batsman deciding that it's safer to stay for 1. And so it's 39 for 2. Simmons goes up to 6. Fowler is on 9. And they have lost 2 wickets. It's 39 for 2. 126 required from 88 balls.
Again, Simmons coming in like last night when his team is in a spot of bother. But he looks cool and calm and looks to be the man in form.
So 39 for 2 still. And Johnson. Oh, that's a big looking shot here from Fowler this time. Man makes a very good save and they'll come back for 2. So good looking shot here from Zenith Fowler towards the deep areas on the onside. He picks up a couple. He goes up to 11.
Yes, showing signs of aggression, knowing that this is the last over of the power play. He got 2 for his effort, and they're trying to dig themselves out of the woods. 41 for 2. Fowler is an 11 from 13. Simmons 6 from 3, going at a good clip, trying to repair a little early damage, but nonetheless, US, they are trying to keep it within 165. I'm saying that very easy.
So 124 required from 87 balls. Simmons gets, in fact, Fowler gets one. He lobs up behind the bowler. He goes up to 12.
Yeah, that was a quicker delivery. He rushed him. I can tell you that he was trying to swivel it, thought it was short. He could have been pulling it, but the ball hit the bat even before he knew it. But there was no silly off, and the bowler was in his follow-through, gone past that one that went over his head. But ask the batsman, he'll tell you, I deliberately did that.
So Lendl MP Simmons. Lendl MP Simmons. And
talking of MP, he was the man of the match in one of the games that he would have played earlier.
So 123 to win from 86 balls. And Johnson to...
Easy as they come. Easy as they come. Simmons just had to get back in that, and it's create-driven. None as pretty as that so far in the inning. Shot of the inning so far. Simmons is racing away. He's on 10 from 4. And sooner or later, our official score would tell us what weight he's going at.
So Lendl Simmons goes up to 10. Fowler is on 12. It's 46 for 2. And it's 119 to win from 85 balls.
And Simmons' strike rate is 250, believe it or not.
So Johnson, ball turned into the onside.
More runs for Simmons. More runs for Simmons. This is going to have the legs to get in there. So now, if the previous ball he was going at 250, our official score is going to tell us his strike rate again. Go.
Okay, just to continue with...
We'll continue. The man who has a similar action that of Afridi, or is it the other way around?
Afridi has a similar actions to him.
So 115 to win from 84 balls. They've posted 50 on the board. They've lost a couple of wickets. They've lost Taylor and Ramden. And Siddiqui comes in out the ball to Fowler. Fowler works this one away towards the onside. He'll pick up his 13th run. Simmons is on 14. It's 51 for 2.
50 comes up, but no stand by.
So we're in over number 7 being bowled here by Junaid. Indian Lions need 114 to win from 83 balls. And this is the second semi-final of the U.S. Cricket Open 2016 installment. Al Masafi, the Afghan boys, they're waiting in the wings. Ball off driven here by Lendl Simmons. He goes up to 15. The partnership has gone up to 19. It's 52 for 2, Ivor.
Yes, the 50 came up at a good clip there. And they're needing 113 to get to the 165 mark, thus getting themselves into the finals.
So 113 to win from 81 balls. Still 8.37 is the asking rate. And they're going at exactly 8 and over so far. So Lendl Simmons on 15. Fowler is on 13. Fowler is the man on strike. Oh, that's a big shot. The good-looking shot here from Fowler. And it goes out of the playing area. 6 runs off the bat of Fowler. He goes up to 19. It's 58 for 2.
Yes, it's a good-looking shot there. And like we said, he gave it all that he had. And the man stationed there at the long on-boundary had no chance. And he just had to look at it, fly over his head as if it was a bird.
So Fowler goes up to 19. It's 58 for 2. And Siddiqui, let's look at his bowling figure so far. He's bowled 1.5 overs, 1 for 13. Got the wicket of Dinesh Ramdin. Caught Najaf Shah. So 79 balls remaining, still 107 to go. Looking for a single. No, says Simmons. And they closes off over number 7 here. 58 for 2 with Simmons on 15. He will be the man on strike when play resume. And Audley is 58 for 2.
Okay, 58 for 2. Let's take a look at some more international matches that have been played. The final of the Tri-Nation match being played between Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka. Of course, the West Indies, they participated, but they were eliminated by Zimbabwe on the Duckworth-Lewis system. And Zimbabwe batted first. They made 160. And you know that's always going to fall short of the 160. And Sri Lanka, in reply, lost only 4 wickets. In reply, they made...
Will be the man on strike, and this could be a very keen contest here. Saeed Ajmal, of course, having played at the international level and quite successful when he did. He makes a good start. He starts with a dot ball here. Simmons remains on 15. Ivor is 58 for 2.
Yes, and we are looking at international cricket all around here, where we would have had Afridi at the highest level for Pakistan and Simmons at the highest level for West Indies. And for you viewers, streaming live on ESPN, we welcome you.
So 58 for 2. Ajmal comes into ball to Simmons. Simmons is on 15. Oh, he goes big. Field is settling under it. Oh, he takes the catch. Simmons is gone. 58 for 3.
My word, and Simmons, who have played beautifully so far, made the one mistake and having to pay for it. Ajmal, with all his experience, at one time rated as the #1 bowler in the world. And we can say Simmons tried to show him no respect. And Ajmal said, I will get the better of you. I am trying to get to the finals. I will try to get the informed batsman, the informed Simmons. Walks back to the dugout now, a dejected man. But he's been replaced by skipper Ricardo Powell. He has got to take the bull by the horn. He will not be in tandem with Simmons like they did last night. Fowler will be the man to partner Ricardo Powell.
So Saeed Ajmal strikes
team and lead from the front. He would have done the duty of bowling tight. He himself would have bowled from both ends, did all he can to make sure that they didn't get a score that in his mind would be out of range. Now he's here to wheel the willow to get them over the line. Ajmal around the wicket, and this time Ricardo is getting one, is quicker, and Fowler, I beg your pardon, Fowler, because the batters did cross while the ball was in the air. So Fowler been there for quite some time. He's on 19 from 21. He's to face Ajmal with his tails up, having taken a wicket in his second delivery of this first spell. He comes forward, beaten outside the off stump. The wicketkeeper takes, whips the bail off in a flash, but Fowler, back foot was well grounded. So Samuels, the umpire, comes in to do the repair to make sure that everything is okay. And I'll take you to... Well, Ajmal, again, around the wicket, and a dead ball signal here by umpire Nemhard, and acknowledged by our scorer, hard-working David Maitland. And I don't think the stumps are in the correct position, and Nemhard is not trusting the wicketkeeper, so he asks Samuels to come and do his duty. Make sure those stumps are well aligned. And this time the switch, it comes out from around the wicket, but apparently that one's pitch outside of the leg stump. He tried to put in the switch hit to earn himself a run, but he survives the appeal. Ajmal, at the end of his first over, a successful one at that. The latest score at Central Board Regional Park is 58 for 3.
Okay, some more international cricket. Women's international cricket. Match been played between Australia and South Africa. ODIs. Scores. Australia 242, all out in 49 overs and 5 balls. In reply, South Africa all out 242. So the match ended in a tie, 242 each for Australian women and also the South Africans.
Yes, and just to bring the scores up to date, not the scores, the listeners up to date and the viewers up to date, Ajmal would have ended with a maiden wicket. I think it's the second in this tournament. So he's living to his reputation that he would have built for himself.
So it looks like Dilhara has been given the ball. Dilhara comes into the attack. Powell gets off the mark with a single here.
Yeah, he works this one into the onside nicely. The one was making some height in him, but Powell, just with that stroke alone, seemed to be a man in form. He's well composed and he's underway.
So Saeed Ajmal, you're right on that. A maiden over, and 5 of those would have been dot ball. And as we have alluded to during the course of this tournament, oh, it's high in the air.
What was that?
Oh, he puts it down.
He was never settled. I thought, I said, even the wicketkeeper could have gone up and catch that. He was never settled. He was chipping. He needed to take 1 or 2 big strides, get there, wait, and settle. He was chipping. His head was in the air for far too long. But I thought the bowler should have taken that one. The bowler was closer to it than him.
So it appears to be Hassan Raza, the captain, who never got close. Badly missed here. Ricardo Powell is on 1. Fowler escapes. He's on 20. 60 for 3. 105 balls remaining. In fact, 105 runs remaining. 70 balls make that 69. So a lot of drama here at the Central Broward Regional Park. You're watching the second semi-final. Indian Lions having a score to settle here with U.S. All-Stars with the news Al Masafi are in the final of the 2016 U.S. Cricket Open, coming to you live here from Broward County in South Florida. And Dilhara runs in again, couple of runs in the over so far. And a play and a miss here by Ricardo Powell. He remains on 120 to Fowler. And we are in the 9th over being bowled here by Dilhara. So 105 to win from 68 balls. And just to come back to the previous over bowl by Saeed Ajmal, 5 dot balls. And the 6th one was a wicket dot ball. And as we have alluded to during the course of this tournament, one of the best dot balls you can bowl is the one that has the W inside.
Yes, indeed. So Paul was trusting the wicket there with the previous delivery, and he's banging one through the covers, well fielded down at the cover sweeper, and he sent the throw back in, and in the meantime, the batters would have crossed for 2.
So it's a good bit of work from the man out in the deep there. It appears to be Junaid, and he continues to feel well. We know he's a good bowler. It's a good bit of effort there. 62 for 3. Oh, Powell goes big, and this will clear the mid-wicket area. Akeem Dotson looks up, and it goes out of the playing area. Powell goes up to 9, is 68 for 3.
And that's what I was saying. He was trusting the wicket. We would have seen him play and missed that one that went over the top of the stump, and that's because he was trusting the wicket. This time the bowler is guilty of over-pitching, and Powell gave it the treatment. Just a whack, and away she goes. It's out of here.
Okay,
396 to win from 65. And Saeed Ajmal comes into bowl to Ricardo Powell down the leg side. Will be called a wide. And so a couple will be added to the scorecard here. 71 for 3.
And again, more disappointment for Ajmal. He's not accustomed to that. Now he has gone in 2 deliveries, one delivery, I should say, and they've given up 3 runs. And I know he's really, really, really disappointed.
So he comes in out the ball to Fowler. And Fowler turns it out towards the onside, batting with Ricardo Powell. And we saw a responsible knock the other night from Ricardo Powell. Very smart cricketer, and
he played with a cricketing brain alongside Lyndon Simmons last evening.
So he will have to bring out one of those performances here today, as Indian Lions, they're batting a 72 for 3, a big swing and a miss here from Ricardo Powell, beaten by a good ball here from Ajmal.
Again, he's trusting the wicket. It has a little bounce in it. If that would have kept low, and that would have crashed into the stump, because he went right over the top of the middle stump. But he's trusting the bounce.
So both of these teams, and in fact all 4 teams, as we have mentioned during the course of the broadcast, are all from the franchise zone, the zone that was always carded to advance to the quarterfinal. And in fact, only Miami Sharks would have missed out on an opportunity to play in the last 4. And so far we have seen Stallions getting knocked out earlier on in the day by Al Masafi. And Indian Lions locked into a big battle here with US All-Stars. All-Stars posting 164. And in reply, Lions are batting a 73 for 3.
92 more to get over the line of 165, but Ajmal would have something else in mind. And my word, that was between the batter and the stump. He was making room to play inside out. And Fowler was trying to get after Ajmal, but Ajmal will have none of that. Fowler, he's been there at the top of the inning, batting on 22. We've lost 3 wickets. They need to keep it turning over, as opposed to going for the big shots at this time. But Fowler, again, is showing signs of aggression. He's not respecting the name Ajmal. He's playing the 5.5 ounce. As that over comes to an end, and by Ajmal's standard, that was a very, very expensive over. Some 6 runs coming from it.
Okay, just to continue with the scorecard, the main scorers in the match, South African women versus the Australians. Knapp would have scored 66. Niekerk, the captain, Van Niekerk, she scored 81. And the main destroyers for Australia was Jensen, 3 for 37. And she was the main destroyer.
So Dilhara continues. Fowler plays it up towards the offside. He picks up his 24th run. Takes the score up to 75 for 3. And brings the equation down to 90 to win from 59 balls.
And as I said before, the score ended in a tie, 242 each.
So we are in over number 11 here. This is the semifinal, one of the second semifinal. The winner gets a chance to play in the final and a shot at $50,000 at least.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, that's a short ball played towards the mid-wicket area. Dotson comes in, takes a well-judged catch. Powell is gone, 75 for 4.
Not a good shot at all. He got a top edge. There was a man stationed in the deep, but early in his innings, he would have hit a 6 in that direction. He was looking for number 2. It had the height, never the distance. Powell is gone. They're in a spot of bother. Believe it or not. They just go along.
So Stephen Taylor for 13. Dinesh Ramdin for 9. Lendell Simmons for 15. And now Ricardo Powell for 14. 79 for 4. Danza Hyatt is the new batsman. He comes out here with still 86 to win from 57 balls. And Fowler goes up to 25. It's 80 for 4, 85 to win from 56 balls. So Indian Lions under some bit of pressure here. We've seen good fight back from US All-Stars. Still a long way to go. 85 to win from 56 balls. And Danza Hyatt, former West Indies one-day international player, he comes in here with a lot of batting work to do here as we welcome Jafar Shaw. And Shaw, U.S. All-Stars doing well here.
Definitely, they were doing well, and at the when we were doing the toss, they did say that we want to bat first because we have a strong bowling attack, and we're going to rely on that to control the Indian Lions from running away with this, because they do recognize that the Indian Lions have a good batting lineup right up to 11.
So a ball played up into the offside. They're running quickly, realizing that every run counts. Hyatt gets off the mark with 1. Fowler is on 25. And the equation comes down to 84 to win from 55 balls. Still one more ball to finish up over number 11 here. And Fowler, he has really taken the opportunity, the limited opportunity he has had with the Indian Lions this year to really post a good score. He's on 25 not out. And he defends. So that concludes over number 11. It's 81 for 4. Still 84 to win from 54 balls.
It's definitely a challenging task, but it's not an impossible task, because the way their batting lineup is set up, anyone can click and anyone can have 2 good overs and the game will change.
So Dilhara bowling at 1 for 17. We've also seen wickets from Najaf Shaw, 1 for 11. Junaid, 1 for 13. And Saeed Ajmal, 1 for 6. Oh, he ducks bat still in the way. That completes over number 11. It's 81 for 4 Shaw and then 84 to win from 54 balls.
Yeah.
Take it up, Shaw.
Yeah, it is. It is an interesting game. I think the U.S. All-Star is really showing their strength at this particular time to manage the middle over of the games, which are the crucial overs we call, as the game usually breaks or opens up in terms of positioning the team for target score or winning score or defending score by the fielding team. So middle over, I think they're capitalizing on those so-called Saeed Ajmal, Junaid Siddiqui, and Dilhara to bowl well and keep the score, Indian Lions from running away with the score.
Well, here's Sean Qureshi taking up the attack from the pavilion, and 88 required of 54 balls, and Qureshi left orthodox spinner has been bowling well on the domestic circuit here in the United States. And that's a good delivery on and about the off, something in away from the batsman. Hyatt on that occasion just pushes it out on the offside for a single. Hyatt with a lot of experience, having played for Jamaica. Even he had a stint also with the West Indies.
Yeah. Zizan Siddiqui to Hyatt. Glancing down to the leg side to get a single. Zishan Qureshi.
There's a delivery outside the off stump. Qureshi dragging him wide, but there's enough on that one to go for 6. Wide outside the off stump, and Fowler on that occasion being able to fetch it and put it over the long on boundary for 6. Fowler, of course, lucky to still be there. Put down earlier on by skipper Raza. 86 for the loss of 4 wickets. Qureshi, who was a member of the Ghana Amazon Warriors during the CPL. pressure situation here right now. He's up to the wicket. That's a full ball. Goes down to a long on. Fielded by Saeed Ajmal. Saeed Ajmal would definitely be the key as we go down towards the end of the innings with 8 overs to go after this. Here's Qureshi again wide outside the off stump. It's going to be called a wide.
Yeah, Saeed Ajmal will be a key, and also Junaid if he lives up to the expectation, because I think they're holding them back for the later overs.
That's a better delivery there from Qureshi, and Hayat getting back and cutting it away down to the point boundary. He's only going to get a single. Lovely bit of work down there by Dodson, and the score goes on to 89 for 4. Delivery outside the off stump from Qureshi, not really getting much turn at this point in time, and the pitch is not really allowing for that. End of Sison Qureshi's over 12 game, and this latest score here at Broward after 12 overs, the Indian Lions in pursuit of 165 for victory. They're 89 for 4.
Yeah, the next 2 or 3 overs are going to be a crucial overs. If they either their score will go up or they will put the Lions in a better position to finish them off, or it'll be a challenging to climb up the scoring run rate. The runner is coming from the so-called Palm Beach end.
Here comes a look at Hetty. This is a short delivery that's muscled away by Hayat, and there's a single down to the backward square leg.
The flower
delivery, and Fowler fetching that one from outside the off stump. He pulls it away through by mid-on down to the boundary for 4, and that's a welcome boundary there from Fowler. He goes on to 32, and the score 90 for 4.
Yeah, that was a very timely hit. He could have hit it high, but I think he played very sensibly to try to hit the ground shot instead of pulling it up for 6. Nice single to bring the score to 94. And Flower goes to 37 off 37 ball deliveries. 95 for 4.
Look at in his third over. He has so far taken 1 for 19. Slow delivery on this occasion. Weighted by Hayat, and he got a single.
They definitely are recognizing the fielder position and punishing them for singles whenever it's possible.
The required run rate has now climbed to 9.41. Look ahead again, a short delivery. Fowler not getting hold of this one as he would have liked, and it's taken 1 bounce down there by Dodson, and the score goes on to 97 for 4.
I think it's a pressure time for both teams. These middle overs are or late overs are very important.
Slow delivery again from Lukaheti. Down to Ajmal, third man. There's a single.
I think there may be a bowling change.
Well, at the end of that over, the score 98 for 4 with 7 overs to go. The equation now 67 required by the Indian Lions to take this one and book a place in the finals. Hayat is on 6, Fowler is on 38. Lukaheti has now completed 3 overs, no maiden, 1 for 22.
And Junaid has been brought in from the pavilion end
Junaid Siddiqui had an over from the other end. Now let's see what he can conjure up from this end. He said yesterday it was such a privilege, sharing the dressing room with Hassan Raza, Saeed Ajmal and these guys. He was learning so much from them. Let's see if he can put it into practice.
Yeah, Ajmal was telling me that he's grooming him a little bit about the game situation and the pressure during the game, how to manage and handle those situations. So I think there's for the young player coming up in the elite level to know these tips from the legend, I call him, the off spinner at this time. He's not retired, so it may not be the right thing to say legend, but the future legend maybe.
Quick delivery there from Siddiqui, and Hyatt being able to get a single down to backward square. 98 for 4. .66 to win, still 6.5 overs to go. Siddiqui with a straight delivery on that occasion, just giving himself some room was Fowler, and he was able to pull it down to the man at the long-on boundary, which is Ajmal, who still has, I believe, 2 overs to bowl, and that could be key to the outcome of this contest.
Yes, and Junaid is a key at this particular time. If he keeps the ball down.
Not a quicker delivery, and Siddiqui is off. He's doing the fielding to his own bowling. Only a single.
Single won't hurt them. The ball goes over the boundary line, or the boundaries will hurt them. So I think with the way he's bowling is trying to keep the run rate down, which is a sensible bowling. But just if he bowls any loose ball, then he should be expected to be punished.
Keeping it wicket to wicket at this point in time, Junaid Siddiqui. Here he comes again. And this delivery is struck very powerfully indeed down to long off. Only a single, he's keeping them relatively quiet. Siddiqui again, another straight delivery, not trying to impart any spin on it whatsoever.